Good evening and welcome to tonight's football game between Lakota West and Lakota East, the Battle of Lakota. I'm Brent Phelan along with
Dan Zebrink,
and we will be calling tonight's game for you. We'll get interrupted here in a second for the national anthem, so welcome to all you viewers, and we will
be right back after the national anthem.
So a stirring rendition of the national anthem by the Lakota West marching Firebirds. So Dan, we got a big matchup here. Battle Lakota. Lakota West did clinch, as we understand it, the championship.
Share.
At least a share. Lakota East, with a win tonight, could share.
Right.
So what do we got? What are we going to see tonight?
Interesting. A lot. I looked at a lot of this, and tonight's going to be an interesting game. I thought tonight coming in last week was going to be a battle for the GMC championship, winner take all. And somehow, inexplicably, East lost to Fairfield. By the time people see this broadcast, they're going to know who won. So this is just a guess with us talking to people who already know who won. Because by the time we show this, game's over, parents know, and the winning team will be watching this, so they know they won.
Well, don't forget, Dan, though, we do have folks online today watching us live.
True, we do. We have gone international. As you see East coming on, Thunderhawks in their white uniforms and black hats. Should be, it doesn't matter, Brent. This is East-West. And since 1998, it's been, doesn't matter what the record is, don't care who it is. This is the rivalry game. All these kids look forward to it. They all play Tomahawks together. They play U Sports together. This is bragging rights. Whoever gets to win this game gets a whole year in the summer of saying it, and that's what they're wanting. Fortunately, if you're a West fan, you've had bragging rights for a good number of years.
A lot, right? We were talking with Bob Ashby, and it was 5-5 in 2007.
Or 4, was it?
Or 4.
And then 2004.
And then since then, it's been mostly
West.
Lakota West.
It's West. I think Lakota East has only won 4 games since then. They've won 9 of the contest. East has a 16 to 9 game lead. So it's been Lakota West since 2005. And they've won a great majority of those games. West has been pretty good. As you see West come out here in their red uniforms with black helmets. Kind of odd. They both all have, West used to be white helmets with the big W on the side. Since Tom Bolden's been here, they went to the black hats, and they look good.
So now, Dan, a couple of things you talked about inexplicably. East losing last week to Fairfield. There was a little bit of an explanation, right? They had a player not play.
Right. Well, as we were talking about this, and I was looking at this before, looking at some of the statistics and comparison of the teams, and really, East offense runs through their quarterback. TJ Kaufman is that he's 8th in the league in passing, 9th in rushing overall, which for a quarterback is pretty high.
And you're going to see him number 1, so it's easy to keep track of him.
He's easy, and he's going to be the guy. He's kind of the head or leader of that 3-headed monster. East is a rushing team. They're going to run the football. They have 3 guys in the top 10 in rushing. Eric Davis is another one that's up there in rushing. Then they've got Heinrich, who's also leading in passing. But that's kind of the 3-head. They average about 270 yards or so a game in offense and rushing.
So he was out last week.
And he was out against Fairfield.
So and actually they were winning. Fairfield scored twice in the last 4 minutes of the game.
To win the game.
To come back and come from behind fashion.
And that will be telling here tonight, Brent, as we were talking about before the game, and that is the defensive backfield seems to be the weakest link for Lakota East. where that is the strongest link for Lakota West, where they have about 4 kids going Division I, Jair Brown and Fossell, who are leading the league in interceptions. But that's the strength of the defense and the weakness of the defense comparatively. And part of the strength of the offense and the balance of Lakota West offense is Mitch Bolden's doing really well through the air and rushing the football. They've got Cameron Goody rushing the football, and you got Bolden, both pretty big threats on the ground. But then you have Bolden, who's also throwing the football, who's, I think, 3rd in the league in passing. So that going against a weaker defensive backfield, you never know. I mean, you just don't know what's going to happen. And the weather, Brent, may play, a game tonight. I don't know if, what the weather is, but I think it's about 59 degrees or so and kind of misty, rainy. So that could affect how you throw the football tonight.
So here we'll go right off the bat. Lakota East is going to kick off to Lakota West. That's number 3, Trevor Hoffman, the kicker. A little bit short, down to the 15-yard line or so. Lakota West is going to bring it straight up that side.
Have good field position to start.
Yeah, they're going to start. Oh, late flag. Ball was carried out just past the 30-yard line.
I don't know if that's a late hit or what that is, but it came in kind of late after the play.
And from the trailing official. So see what we got here.
Face mask or a late hit maybe. You see him? Oh, that's a personal foul against East. So that's going to add 15 yards or whatever it was.
So we're going to see a replay here. You're going to see the official from the middle back is going to throw the flag in at the very end of the play. So we'll see if we can catch something here.
A little short, and I don't know if it's a late hit. I don't see anything.
I sure didn't catch it, but here's the one thing if you're Lakota East that you don't want to do. I mean, Lakota West is starting at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, I don't see a face mask or anything, and really don't see a late hit.
Not sure what he's doing there at the end, but
yeah, I don't know either. It doesn't matter what we see; it's what the guy with the yellow flag sees.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for Lakota West to start out from their own 46-yard line. Mitch Bolden, number 7,
empty backfield, right off the bat.
So there we go. The
faked the jet sweep, and they got Bolden right up the middle for good yardage.
And as you mentioned, he's going to get 9 on that. As you mentioned, they faked to Lloyd on the jet sweep, and then Mitch Bolden takes it right up the middle. We're going to see a lot of that.
Yes.
We'll see it again here. You're going to and looks like there's an option, right? Lloyd wasn't sure if he's getting that ball or not.
Right.
And him running the jet sweep is a pretty normal play for Lakota West. So it'll be 2nd and 1 inside Lakota East Thunderhawk territory. Same formation again, right?
Well, you're going to see this a lot. I mean, through the offenses, both quarterbacks. I mean, Bolden throws the football well and runs the ball well.
There's Alex Safari, number 2 from Bolden. Alex Safari, tell us a little about him. Plays both sides of the ball. I think he's still committed to University of Kentucky.
Yes. And actually both their top receivers are both-way players. Jair Brown is their leading receiver, and he's a commit to Ohio State.
So you see some nice blocks there. We had number 13, Ben Minnick, and number 10, Dwayne Richardson, both blocking outside. And, boy, you don't need much to get Alex Safari another 10 or 12 yards, so 1st and 10.
And when you have athletes like that, when you got a one-on-one situation, that equals 0, take it to the house. I mean, you're going to beat one guy when an athlete like Afari or Jair Brown or Lloyd, those guys are so good, they go backside to Goody, and he breaks the tackle and still going.
Cameron Good does a nice run, gains about 8. If you notice that, they were strong. It was interesting formation, right? We had a tight end to the right, and then we had all the receivers to the left. So it was balanced, even though initially it looked balanced because unbalanced, right. And they just straight up the middle right there.
But the one thing you saw there, Brent, was the offensive line was doing a tremendous job blocking. There was a hole. I mean, Goody didn't touch till he's in the backfield, or the defensive backfield.
This time he was forced to make his first cut in the backfield, but still was able to get almost 5 yards and, more importantly, a first down.
A first down, yes.
So another nice patience by Good there. I mean, he was
nice moves as you're going to see it here. Yeah, he's forced in the backfield. Good penetration from the East defense on the left side. Gets him stopped, but he makes a good cutback and is able to pick up some yards and breaks through a couple tackles and does a pretty good job.
Number 72, Tony Curtis, while he didn't get his man moved downfield, was able to keep his helmet in front of him and allowed Good to make that cut back behind him and get 5 yards in the first down. So 1st and 10, West from the 21-yard line.
Well, Bolden, he makes a good spin moves, gets off, breaks the tackle, and ends up getting 4 or 5 yards out of that, Brent.
A strange play there. I don't know if there was a little bit of confusion here on whether it was supposed to be a handoff or not. You'll see.
East does a good job on the initial point of attack. They've got this stop, but then Bolden makes a good spin move to break a tackle, gets off that, and then breaks another tackle and ends up getting about 4 yards out of it.
So it looked like he faked the handoff to Good and was going to follow him to the left side. Didn't see anything there. As you mentioned, did the spin move and got 5 yards.
And broke a tackle. I mean, good run by Bolden at that point, picking up yards all on his own.
So here they are in the red zone, 2nd and 5 from the 16-yard line. Here's that play we talked about before where they actually hand it off to number 4. That's Lloyd on the jet sweep. East did a nice job stringing that out.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job up front, Brent. It seems like the West offensive line is doing a good job at the initial attack and got some things, but East doing a good job making them run sideways. So
there's Trent Lloyd. Looks like Afare, number 2, had a fairly solid block, but just one defender there really was able to cut through. For Lakota East, number 26, Tabron Benny Powell, and was able to keep it to about a yard and a half gain, so it'll be 3rd and 3. There we go, fake pass, and Bolden tries to run it up the middle.
Well,
slips.
The turf monster got him, but he's not. He's going to be close to the first down.
We're going to see the spot. Of course, Lakota West is signaling first down, but the officials
are saying fourth,
saying otherwise. So it's going to be 4th down and less than a yard for Lakota West. He clearly would have got it, but he got tripped up. So this is one just kind of fake the pass straight up the middle, and
you see him right there slip.
Was fortunate to get that extra 3 yards without his knee touching down to at least make this into a 4th and a half. So here we go. First big play of the game.
Inside the red zone.
Now this is interesting. So Bolden went up under center, quarterback sneak, which was good for 2 or 3 yards. Flags beforehand. So now you're going to be 4th and 5 and a half.
You kick it. You got a good field goal kicker in the team, or you got 2 of them actually.
Not a hesitation. Tyler Bond is headed out, number 35. He is actually has already made 17 PATs this year, so he's on the board there with a nice field goal as well.
He shares the extra point duties with the girl kicker, Hannah
Duncan. But here we go. Tyler Bond is going to be kicking approximately 30, looks like a 33-yard attempt.
So West bends, but they don't break. And he goes through.
Yeah. Good solid kick there. So Lakota West is on the board early with the 3 points.
And it's going to be big. I mean, it's the thing that's hard is West defense is the strength of this football team. West has a very good offense, but their defense only giving up 87 yards, 8 points a game. Is going to be tough. Whereas they've given up 87 yards in rushing a game. And only 8 points a game, and that's going to be tough for East, who rushes the ball primarily. So you're going, your strength is going into their strength.
So after giving up 31 points in the first game of the season to St. X, Lakota West has only given up 57 in the next 7 games.
Right.
So they've absolutely defense has come to play over and over. They were able to parlay that great initial field position starting at the 46 into 3 points. Obviously a little bit disappointed there, I'm sure, that they didn't put it into the end zone. Coach Bolden can't be happy because that penalty took them out of that.
Well, and Mitch slipping there prevented the first down. Otherwise, that was an easy first down, except he slipped and got in a position where they go for it on 4th and a few inches. But unfortunately, the movement on the line and they go back and you kick it, you take the 3 and go home.
So Tyler Bond will kick off for Lakota West. Kicks a odd kick down, kind of a knuckleball down the middle of the field, picked up by Lakota East deep. See what we get from a spot here. Looks like it's close to the 25-yard line for Lakota East. We'll see who they see what we got here. But he kicked it kind of in the middle of the ball. There you go. Picked up around. After the hop, picked up inside their own 15-yard line, but nice advance out to the 25. So good solid return. That was number 2 also, Caleb Van Hooser.
Yeah, you're going to see this 3-headed monster is what East is. They've got the pitch back, the fullback, and the quarterback to take the ball. Number 1, Kathman's going to be handling the ball, obviously, every time. Charlie Henrik, number 5, has got the ball a lot. And then Eric Davis carries the ball quite a bit.
So there it is. They fake it to Davis up the middle, and then the quarterback follows that to the next gap. Gain of about 2 for Kathman. We're going to see a lot of that, right? You're going to see the fullback either to the right or the left, and as the defense, you must tackle him because you never know when he's actually going to get the handoff.
This is very difficult for a defense if you don't run, option, which West does. Obviously, from the Coleraine days, both these coaches, both Haynes and Bolden, are from Colerane's coaching tree, and they both know the option, but it's tough. When you practice against the option, you don't even use a ball on your defense. When you're running scout offense against that, You don't use a ball. You just, it's assignment football. One guy. Oh, wow.
And there you go, right? You missed the assignment, and it's off to the races. Benny Powell takes the ball down in the Lakota West territory to the 39-yard line, first down. So Kathman, fakes to the middle, and then gets it on the pitch on the option to Benny Powell, Tabron Benny Powell, which is interesting is he lines up normally out as a wide receiver, but now he's listed as a running back, and boy, went to the tailback position with a great run.
Yeah, and that was just a guy miss. You just made a guy miss.
And that's the key here, right? It's the assignment football.
Yes. Everybody had their assignment. He just missed it.
So here we go, same play to the left. Benny Powell comes out this way and tackled by number 13, Minnick. Gain of about 2 yards on the play. So nice job from Minnick.
And you're going to see this all night. This is what you're going to see. You see the quarterback got taken out. They obviously got that. Now they got the pitch back. Pretty well. It was pretty well. They were trying to block out there. It was 8-4 for East was out there blocking, but West was able to get through it and make the play.
And what's really challenging is if you're the interior defensive line, you must tackle the fullback every time.
Every single time.
In that case, you saw number 11, Jacob Asbeck, he has to take the quarterback.
And
he has to get it.
Yeah, DN's going to go out, or linebackers going to go take that quarterback every single time.
If you try to take both of them.
Tackle him every time.
When you try to play between two of them, usually bad things happen. So here we go off to the right side. Finally hand the ball up the middle. So
to Davis,
4 or 5 plays into it before their leading rusher actually gets his first handoff, Davis. Gained about 2. So we're going to be looking at 3rd and 6.
And this is where East is not where you want to be, and this is not where the option wants to be in 3rd and 6. They want to stay, as you say, Brent, stay on schedule. 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 is definitely everything in the playbook kind of thing. 3rd and 6 kind of forces you to throw the ball. Although East will still run option out of this.
And at the Lakota West 36-yard line, they're probably in 4-down territory.
Yes.
So you probably still have 2 plays to get those 6 yards.
Very true.
You see, it looks like a little bit of confusion from Lakota East, and they're going to take a timeout, their first timeout.
And, Brent, what do you know about Kathman's injury? Is he okay?
So, they were pretty secretive about exactly what was hurt. All I know is last week before the game, there was some question of whether or not he was going to play against Fairfield.
Mm-hmm. Decided to hold him back.
They decided to hold him back. I heard the rumor mill out there was they thought they could beat Fairfield without him. West had beaten Fairfield the week before 42-10. Lakota East had won every game since they just like West, they both lost their opener to a GCL team. They lost them more in the opener and had run off, a number of wins. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him then. They thought he probably could have played last week, but they thought it was better to go ahead and hold him out and be really full strength for tonight.
Well,
and we've seen no indication.
73 and 72 for East are some big guys. Sieverfeld, 73.
Yeah, I think they're twins.
Okay, yeah, when they are twins. I'd hate to feed both of those guys. They are some big boys. So East has a good-sized offensive line, looks like.
Absolutely. So here we go, 3rd and 6. Guy in motion. Kathman does drop back from a shotgun to pass.
Got some pressure. Ball's hit, and he fumbled.
Either an interception, but caught downfield by Aiden Miller, number 23 from Lakota West, still on his feet. He's still advancing. I think we're going to see a flag bringing it back. Advanced it out down to the Lakota East 30. Great pressure. Forced,
I wasn't sure. There was good pressure. He tried to sidestep. I don't know. Did they knock the ball out in a fumble, or did he throw an interception? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be ruled an interception because his arm was moving. He went down. The ball went downfield several feet.
Set up. They came off a good pressure here. That's
Asbeck. That's Asbeck. Jacob Asbeck, number 11, again with the great pressure and a really nice return from Aiden Miller there, number 23.
Good spin move there. Comes off that tackle. We have to get him some running attempts.
So there you go, which we saw mid return that there was a penalty flag for a legal block in the back, it looks like, or a hold. But it's going to move the ball from the spot of that foul. But still, here we go, Lakota West, second possession. They're starting at the 50-yard line.
And as we talk pregame, Brent, turnovers are going to be a big part of this game, and who's going to win it? I mean, obviously the emotional part of this, everybody's highly charged, and they're up for it emotionally. If you can't get up for this game, I don't know. But in this kind of weather, you're going to see some turnovers. I mean, it's cold and rainy.
So Bolden in the shotgun, do you think they try to strike deep quick? We haven't seen anything from Lakota West going downfield yet. There he goes, drops back.
There you go.
Not much there. I think he actually finds Lloyd.
Yes.
Incomplete there. I think we're going to have a whole offensive hold in the backfield. There is a flag that was
Boy,
thrown
they're jumping
before
up
the
and
throw.
down. They're jumping up and down for pass interference. The DB did not turn around to locate the ball and ran through the receiver.
Ran through the receiver. The ball hit him. It is holding on Lakota West in the backfield. So not only did they not get the penalty on the defense, but they're actually going to move the ball back.
Yes.
We'll see this again. See where the hold call is. So you see the fake from that side. And
right there, he tackled him. That is a hold.
Right there.
You're not allowed to tackle him, but you see him. He does not even look back. Puts his face. That is an interference.
Yeah, he definitely made contact with the receiver before the ball got there.
And never turned back. Put his hands up in front of the guy. That is a bad call from the stripes. That is the definition of pass interference right there.
So it will be 1st and 20 for Lakota West from their own 40-yard line now. Still 4:41 to go here in the first quarter. 5 receivers out again, like we saw earlier, with just Bolden in the backfield.
So Bolden did go for the kill shot, didn't get it, and he's just going to fake to Lloyd and then hit him on a little side screen. West was not fooled.
East definitely was right there playing the defense. I gained about 2 yards on the play.
Yeah.
That was really nice. You know what? If you notice what happened, Lakota West is going to run all those receivers on the right side deep. They have 3 receivers over here.
Good flow.
Lloyd comes in motion. They're just going to throw it out there and hope that they've run off all the defenders.
Linebackers read that really well for East. As you see him get over there and defend that the way they're supposed to. The linebacking core for East did a good job on that. It's 5, 48, and 11 for East.
Yeah,
over there.
And number 11, Nathan Rosario, you're going to see
Leading
with a lot of
tackle.
tackles. Yeah.
He's 3rd in the league in tackles with 57, so you're going to see number 11 a lot.
So Bolden's going to roll left. Still, here we are at 2nd and 18. Actually, wow. Pretty good hit, but Mitch Bolden is a very solid athlete.
Yes, he is. Very quick, starting since freshman year, so he's got nothing but stronger as he's gone up through the years. And he's, as you can see him here, as he gets the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, he can bring up a 3rd and 11, but somewhat manageable.
So here you go. We're going to see it again here. Bolden in the shotgun. He's going to take it, roll
I
left.
thought 48 was going to get him here.
Definitely looking when he saw that there was a lot of pressure there.
He just steps up and goes.
Good hit again by Rosario there at 11, but knocked him forward. So 3rd and 11.
The maligned East defense backfield doing a pretty good job covering people right here.
2 coming up the A gap. Bolden steps inside of him. He's going to throw the ball downfield, and it's intercepted. So Lakota East is going to take over at their own 31-yard line, 1st down. So great. Wow. Lakota West had the ball at midfield.
Yes, and so a great stand is 26.
That's Benny Powell again, the running back.
Playing both defense and offense comes up with that. A nice job there as he was trying for Lloyd. Came up underneath him, and good job by the DP of East there to come up with that. Benny Powell. Benny Powell. Thank you.
I also don't know if you notice it, that was a good hit on the quarterback right as he threw it. So I don't know if he wasn't able to step through it and drive the ball into the receiver. Might have fluttered a little bit, and Benny Powell reacted. And 1st and 10 for Lakota East. So we
each have a turnover.
Wow, what a great possession, though, right? You turn the ball over. They start at midfield, and you're able to turn them over. And not only turn them over, the field position. I mean, you're still outside your 30.
Yes. So you did a pretty good job.
So here we go. They're under center. Looks like a little bobbled snap there. They're going to try
a counter.
Yeah, the counter, the misdirection. The quarterback, Kathman, moving right and bring the ball back across that time.
Benny Powell.
So it looks like we're going to see a lot of Benny Powell on both sides of the ball here.
Yeah, so far as you fakes in the leading running back of Davis, and they give the counter back to Benny Powell, come back the other way, a little trap, and West defense was there, only a couple yards.
While he didn't actually make the tackle there, Malik Hartford, number 9, blew up the play. He got in the hole, made the running back cut back, and allowed it to be
back
tackled.
Into the defense.
Yeah, so 2nd and 7. Going to run the option to the right again. New running back here, number 8, Nick Rabin, is going to carry the ball, advance it forward about 3 more yards. So again, we're going to be, somewhere in that 3rd and 4 range, which definitely much more manageable.
Rabin, I wonder if that's a brother. There was a Rabin here at East many years ago, back in 2002 or so, that went to Ohio State for baseball. Was a great athlete here. I wonder if there's any relation there. Have to check that out at halftime.
Don't know. But here we are, 3rd and 4 for the Thunderhawks. Big play here, right, to try to make something happen?
Yes. And again, this is an East kind of wheelhouse. It's a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 kind of situation, which is good for the option. You don't want to have to throw the football.
Been interesting. We haven't seen a lot of the running back Davis, and we don't see him again. The option, the pitch to Benny Powell, 1st down, Lakota East. They advance it out to about the 48-yard line.
Benny Powell having a good night right now. They're getting outside on this option on the pitch. And as you see the quarterback, again, sign of football, you've seen the quarterback getting hit every time. And he is their guy. So they're, West's game plan is to take him out of the equation. But so far, the pitchback, Benny Powell, has been able to answer the call here and pick up some pretty good yardage.
So as we look at it here, it's 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line.
West's going to have to get that pitch stopped.
You know, one thing we have noticed is not seeing number 5, Charlie Kendrick, in the lineup here, who was typically their second or third leading rusher. You know, he along with the quarterback.
Number 1 receiver.
Yeah, so.
I don't know if he's hurt. I haven't heard that. But he is a big part of that offense, obviously. Kendrick does a lot of the receiving and rushing.
So that's going to be a little bit of a help there, or for the Lakota West offense, a 5-yard penalty on Lakota East. And, you know, maybe if might change that momentum a bit on Lakota East. They were really, you know, like you said, right in their thing. 3rd and 4, perfect play for them. You can hand it up the middle to Davis, who it's interesting. We haven't seen much of him. I don't know if Lakota West might be expecting that, and Lakota East is, we're going to show you a little bit more from the running back.
Lost yardage on the option offense is so hard to overcome. I mean, it's just hard when you got a 1st and 15, 1st and anything.
So here comes Rabin around the right side. Great tackle. Boy, Minnick,
well done.
Minnick number 13 just came up, and it looks like they're on attack marking for no gain, but it might have been a loss there. What a great play by Minnick.
And if you replay this, it is absolute how you do. This is how you defend the option. And you'll see the dive back is hit 34 right away by the interior line hit. And then the quarterback's taken out, and then up comes the corner and just takes out the pitch back. I mean, that's the way you play option. That's the way you play defense against the option.
So I just got a quick update there. They said that Charlie Kendrick actually was banged up didn't play the second half last week, which was another factor that made it hard for them. And looks like he's, like I said, we haven't seen him yet today. So
right. He's a big piece of the East offense. Obviously, their number 1 receiver and number 3 rusher. So that's a lot to take out in a big game like this.
You talked about Kathman, everything running through him. I mean, Kendrick is just right behind that.
Right. And Benny Powell now has kind of stepped up. So, I mean, obviously, if you're a football coach, you know, next guy up, right? That's what you tell everybody. It's the next guy in, next guy up. You just keep chopping wood. And Benny Powell sure listened to that.
Yeah, Tabron Benny Powell is a sophomore. We've seen him both on the offense and the defensive side make plays. He has the interception as well as he's run for, you know, probably 30 yards so far. More than that, he had a longer run. So
looks like we'll see him for a number of years here.
Absolutely.
Playing against West, as he's only a sophomore, which bodes well for Lakota East on their offense coming in next year. But yeah, he's doing well. He stepped up with Kendrick out, and Kendrick, sorry, and he's come in and has really done well. You know, rushing the football. He's had a long run to start out, and he's had a couple other first down pickups that keep him here. But again, here is a tough call.
Yep. So 32 seconds to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 15.
Right.
And that was the second timeout for Lakota East they've already used.
And their only pass so far is an interception. It was completed, but to the wrong color jersey.
Well, they had the black helmet.
Yeah, I did have a black helmet, so what can you say there?
So here we go. They are 5 receivers out, 3 and 2. So we'll see what happens here. Kathman looks like it might be a screen.
Yeah.
And they did get the screen off barely, but wow.
Boom.
Wow, that was Alex Safari, number 2.
Hitting number 2.
You talked about something about chopping and doing stuff. He laid the lumber there.
You can see it. They just released the defensive interior, but West played it well. Yeah. Afari sees it coming. He's going to come up in number 2 and watch Afari just boom.
Wow.
And I think in college and pros that might have been a targeting call because he did hit him in the neck and head area.
It looked like he did get the shoulder as the feet. That's going to be the end of the first quarter here, Dan. So from Firebird Stadium here at Lakota West, after 12 minutes of football, Lakota West 3 and Lakota East nothing.
Yeah, it was Van Hooser on the catch and who got popped there by Afari, Van Hooser. But, that was tough. I mean, good defense, good hitting here as you see it.
So, Dan, here we are back at Lakota West Firebird Stadium. At the end of the first quarter, Lakota West with the 3-0 lead over Lakota East. What are you seeing? What did you expect?
Kind of playing it out the way I thought. I mean, good defense, good emotion on both sides. Both teams are up for this. East making a nice stand after, West is taking, kind of the control of the ball. They look dominant on offense. But East doing a good job. I mean, after the turnover, stopping them, actually getting good field position, kind of turning the field on them. And that's what the drive they're in now after they got their own reverse and get the interception. But, it's all defense right now. On this kind of weather, it's just been the defense been standing up for both sides, playing pretty well. Both defenses, creating a turnover, and both defenses stopping the offenses.
So it's interesting, right? The 2 times they've passed the ball, Lakota East, once an interception. The second time they ran a screen, they completed it, but boy, the nose tackle for Lakota West. I know Owen Kaufman was supposed to be not blocked, but you want to at least get something on him because it took away even a chance for the play.
Yep.
So here they go, back to Pat. Wow.
There, and there's going to be a sack.
Wow, that's it. Jacob Asbeck, number 11. Again, the quarterback didn't even have a chance to get set.
Well, and that's kind of a drop back pass, which again they're uncomfortable. You can just see the quarterback. You're going to see he's not comfortable in this situation. They're going to run play action. They're going to roll. I think he's going to be the type of quarterback that likes to throw on the run.
So there you see 11 coming from the left side.
Yes.
But even if he didn't, 32 Owen Kaufman and 99 Brian Henderson were right there anyway.
Yes.
He would have been. He might have been able to release the ball, but certainly nothing very prepared. So with 4th and almost 16. They're going to be punting, so punt gets away and gets it away from the let's see where it goes out of bounds. Great kick.
Yeah.
But that's still in bounds.
Roll.
What a wonderful
Yes.
kick. It's going to go dead at the 5-yard line. Outstanding kick. Kicked it from his own 41-yard line. So it looks like they're going to mark it a 54-yard net kick. Well, there's
so special teams coming into play here, pushing West all the way back, and those are the kind of things you don't want to turnover here now. I mean, this is where a big turnover for Lakota East would be big for them if they can get a turnover here this far down. But they are playing field position and doing it pretty well right now.
So in that case, the punter punted the ball down the left side. Jair Brown, the return man for Lakota West, ran away. He said, hey, it's way to the other side. I'm not going to try to make a play. The ball stayed in bound, tight-roped down the sideline all the way down to the 5-yard line. So Lakota West, with 11:11 to go here in the second quarter, is going to be starting from their own 5-yard line.
I think you're going to see Cameron Good here as you're in the shotgun, but you're going to see Good here with probably run the football up the middle here and try and use that big offensive line.
So after starting with the ball at the first possession at their own 46-yard line, the second time at midfield, Lakota West is starting at their own 5. First play is Bolden up the middle. It looks like they're going to mark him with a gain of about a yard.
Or a half a yard. You're just in front. Yeah, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're going to be off the air here for a second or two.
So that was a handoff to Good, gain of maybe 2. So it's going to be 3rd and probably 6 or 7 yards for Lakota West. Yeah, not what they want either.
No, not when anybody wants 3rd and long, obviously. But they're able to throw the ball, but do you throw here backed up against your goal line? Does Bolden have enough confidence in his son to throw the football down here? In the offensive line to keep Lakota East off of them because you need some time to throw the ball, but. Tough situation here.
So 4 receivers out. I see number 5, John Edwards, out there with 4, Trent Lloyd. On the right side, we'll see what happens here. Jair Brown, number 1. On this side, there's going to be sacked. We're going to see if it's a safety or marked outside. It looks like they're going to spot him outside the goal line.
About the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. So
1-yard line, yeah.
Big play there from Lakota East, a sack. Wow, that's huge. Number 5 on the tackle there. So it looks like there's Charlie Kendrick. So we first we've seen of Charlie.
On defense making a big play.
So Charlie, who we mentioned had been hurt last week, we hadn't seen him on the offensive side of the ball.
Comes in, linebacker makes a big play.
Makes a huge play. Lakota East is going to be lined up to try to catch this punt. Nick Rabin well inside Lakota West territory. You'll see the punter lined up for Lakota West.
With his heels on the back line. This is tough because you're usually back 13 yards, and they're only 10 yards back in the end zone now. So you got to watch out for a block or stepping on the end line. Anything here is bad.
So good snap, gets the ball away, but it's not going to be very long. And no help from the kick. It looks like they're going to down it around the 22 or 23-yard line of Lakota West. So what a great defensive series. Well, the punt, and then a great defensive series. Here's that punt again. You're going to see him try to, Minnick tries to get rid of the ball very quickly. Right there was already pressure. Might have been touched. Yeah, it looked like somebody got a hand up. So it may have been touched.
Well, that's just difficult because you're 3 yards up further than you normally are on a punt. You're usually 13 yards back on a punt, and you're only 10 yards back at that point because you're up against the back of the end zone. You can't step backwards or it's a safety. can't snap the ball through the end zone. It's a safety. Now Easton is in business at their own 23-yard line.
There's Davis right up the middle. So the guy we said we hadn't seen much of, their leading rusher, gains almost 9 yards up the middle. They're starting at the 23-yard line of Lakota West. This is huge. 8:44 to go second quarter.
This is a big time. This is big. I mean, it's just field position right now, and East is winning that battle.
And so there it is. You can see the tackle there from the outside. That would be a Fari. But, he basically – Davis dragged him along for a couple extra yards. So 2nd and 2.
Big ask here of the Lakota West defense to try and get these guys stopped as they're going straight up the middle again.
So there's Davis. I think he's going to get enough for the first down. He needed 2, got 2.5. So it's going to be a 1st and goal for first and goal. I'm sorry, 1st and 10 because they're going to spot at the 12.
Yeah, they can get first down at the 2-yard line, but tough. I mean, you're asking Lakota West your defense, which is your strongest part of your game, but they're going to ask that defense to kind of hold them out here.
And I tell you what, this is something that Lakota East, they created this, right? Great punt, great defense. The sack by Kendrick forced the punt, maybe a tip. Couldn't quite see that. And here we go again. They're going to bring it on the pitch. Good. The players were properly. Oh,
wow!
What a wonderful play again from Lakota West. That's Minnick again.
Minnick coming up. Yeah, I would quit running his way because he obviously listened during the week about how to handle a pitchback. That's a great pitchback. Actually lost a yard.
It lost a yard. So that was, we're going to see that again. But you're going to see everybody just lines up. They're going to fake to Davis, 34 up the middle. There's Brian Henderson and Owen Kaufman. The Asbeck forced the pitch way early, right? He made the quarterback Kathman deep, and he forced the pitch. And by that point, there were 3 Lakota West players stringing it out, and Minnick just stepped right up and made a nice stick. So
you're going to have dual receivers to the left. If you're going to throw the ball here. And, again, that gets them a little off schedule with the loss.
So there you see Kendrick, number 5, going out to pat. Another nice play by Lakota West. So there's Kendrick. It looks like they're going to use him strategically today. This was an odd situation.
A great play
here
by Lakota West as they sniffed that out as they threw the ball to him. And this is their go-to. They put him in motion. And Kendrick is out there. He's their leading receiver and third rusher. So, boy, West just sniffed that out, saw it come. Had 2 guys out there to make that play. And just a really, really nice shot. I didn't catch the number of that. But
it was Minnick. It was 13. Minnick again.
Minnick having a fine game.
So they're back there. That's great. So now it's 3rd and 10. They gained, there's a play, right, that they've had a lot of success with this year to Kendrick. He's averaging 18 yards of reception. And that time, Minnick kept him to 2. So it's 3rd and 10. So big play here for Lakota West.
And they do have Kendrick in the game. Number 5 is now in on offense. So you got to watch him. He is their leading receiver.
He's on that flanker type position. Actually, it's not a flanker because there's no.
And they did run play action. They're throwing it.
Solid pressure. They're going to throw in it. Call interference there.
Call interference.
That's kind of shaky.
He did reach out and kind of grab him. I'm not sure.
So we've got 2 officials. The other guy's disagreeing. But he's going to say from behind he saw him pull the jersey.
He saw him pull on him.
Yep, that's going to be the call. And
so it's going to be 1st and goal.
See where they actually call it.
It's half a distance.
So it's pass interference. I don't know about that call.
Yeah.
And Coach Bolton doesn't know about that call.
Well, he's really upset because they didn't call the pass interference in the last one, and he called that on
and
that
the
play.
Official who's in the better position to call it intentionally didn't. But the guy in the middle back.
And he might have been saying uncatchable as that ball's thrown. Pretty hard to catch there.
And while uncatchable isn't a rule in high school, they kind of.
I think
if it's not even a
play,
right? I mean, it's like obviously.
If it's uncatchable, they're not going to call pass interference.
If they didn't really interfere with anybody's ability to do anything, so that's going to. So it's weird, that we're going to have the ball advanced here to the see where they spot it. It looks like we're going to be around
the 6-yard line.
Around the 6-yard line.
It was a half the distance call.
So they fired right in there. It looked like maybe Kaufman 32, but couldn't bring him down. So. Tackling him for a gain of about 2. That's Davis, 34. So we're going to be. It looks like we're going to be about 4th and 1.
Straight dive. And they about had him in the backfield, but Davis keeps his legs driving.
I like to
3rd or 4th yard. Yeah.
99 Henderson. You saw him. He didn't tackle him to move him forward further because it's close. He actually grabbed him to pull him back. So very headsy play by number 99 Brian Henderson there. It's 4th and 1. It may be a little bit confusing for everybody. Pass interference in high school is not an automatic first down. The fact that half the distance didn't get to the first down marker, that made it 3rd and 4, and now it's 4th and goal. Or 4th and 1, I'm sorry.
4th and 1.
So big play. They're going to hand it right off to Davis. He did not get much. And the spot is he's short. You can see the spot on the far side. Yep.
The bad thing for West is they're going to get the ball down on about the 2-yard line.
Well, they gained. Last time they punted from the 1.
Yeah, so they got the 2. They can pick up a yard.
So we're going to see that again. It looks like maybe number 11, Jason Asbeck, was involved there coming off the outside. I see Afari, number 2. Obviously, from the middle, there was nothing. There's Afari grabbing his ankle.
Yep.
But the defensive line, there's Sparnell, number 3, so they didn't even make it to him. The defensive line did a great job there.
So
there was no push from the
no push from the line. No. I mean, that was just a great job by the defense keeping them out. I mean, they got the ball 1st and 10 on about the 23-yard line. And West was able to keep them out, didn't score.
And you talked about how big the Lakota East line was. I mean, that was behind those two
massive,
twins who
yes.
we don't have a weight listed for them here, but they're
big.
They're big.
They're over
big,
200 pounds, I can tell you that.
They're big men. So here we go. Great stop by Lakota West at the 3-yard line. They thought they had made the stop, and then the pass interference call, but they made the stop. 1st and 10 with 5:16 to go for Lakota West.
And West with their own offensive line with size. See if they can do something here. They got to get something going here.
A little tight formation. Bolden under center. And what all it did is they brought in extra blockers. He's able to advance that ball out past the 5-yard line. We're going to see where they actually spot him.
It's about the 6 or 7, 8-yard line. That's not bad.
Well, we'll see where the spot is. It's kind of interesting. The guy on the side had him short, but it looked like Bolden spit out of there a little bit. Gained about 3.5. So we'll say 2nd and 6.
Yeah, on schedule, though, at least they need a couple first downs. 1, give that defense a rest, and 2, get out from the shadow of their own end zone.
So with the tight formation, with the running backs in there, Bolden under center, he reverse pivoted out and actually just had extra blockers. So it was a quarterback sneak, but with a lead, a power, I guess quarterback power. From that perspective, here they are back in the shotgun with the one guy back with him. Going to hand the ball up there, get it past the 10 out to the 11-yard line. Looks like we're going to be 3rd and 3 from the 11-yard line here for Lakota West. That's good. Number 25, Cameron Good, running the ball. So
West needs to pick up a first down here, I think, Brown. I mean, I don't think you want to be punting back here again. Obviously, they didn't punt it very far last time, but he was up against, the 10-yard depth and getting a block he didn't want and that kind of stuff. So you have a little bit better chance of punting. They've got some room now. They are able to move it out from the goal line.
So good tackle again by Charlie Kendrick, although you could tell he looked a little bit ginger. He didn't really unload on him, but he did bring him down for a 3rd and short 3. Bolden's going to run it right up the middle for the first down.
That was big.
Yeah, that's nice. Got it out to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, that's a big play there, and that's what's so effective about having a guy who can throw the ball and also run as well as Bolden does. Is it's a double threat there. He can fake the pass,
right up the middle,
kind of loosen the linebackers a little bit, and then run the ball right up there where the linebackers were and get a first down. So that was a big, good play call, well designed.
So number 5, Charlie Kendrick with the tackle again. You'll see him there on the right side as a defensive end or outside linebacker. Here he is. He's going to be jamming one of the receivers for Lakota West. Good goes out to the right side, resets. 5 receivers out, 3 and 2. Here goes Bolden. Lloyd, that's actually a pass.
Sweep. Yeah, it is a pass.
So, but right there is a great job by Lakota East. Now Lloyd did a nice job of avoiding the first tackle, advanced it forward, gained about 3 on the play. We'll see where they actually spot that. So it's, maybe even got 4 on it. Nice job by Trent Lloyd. Takes that little jet sweep flip. It was a good play by number 10 there on the outside from Lakota East. 10 for Lakota West has a hard time blocking him. But Lloyd was able to avoid the first tackle.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Lakota East defense. I'm a little shocked that Fairfield was able to score 28 points against this defense because they look good to me.
Of course, Kendrick wasn't in there, which obviously he's been pretty impactful here in this series. Here we go back. There's 2nd and 6. They're going to hand the ball to Good. Good does a nice, patient job. They're going to call let's see. It's about as many flags. I see at least 3 holding penalties.
Yes.
Kendrick actually, I think, threw a flag.
I think he did.
They held him.
I think he picked it up and threw it himself.
They held him, and he looked at everybody like, what in the world? And you'll see what happens here on the end.
And everybody threw their flag, so it must have been the most obvious holding call.
So there it is, the guy coming across.
Oh, right there, he's got him on the outside framework. That's going to be, and then grabs him by the leg. That's going to be a hold every time.
So that's going to be the penalty. He's going to take the ball back to the 10-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and about 16 for Lakota West.
Yeah, that was on 52 for West. Fletcher?
Yeah, that's Caden Fletcher. Yeah.
Caden Fletcher with the hold on that, and that was definitely a hold. So they're unfortunately making these holds a little too obvious.
So here we go again, 2nd and 16. Bolden in shotgun. Fakes the throw. He's going to try to run the ball right up the middle, and he squirts through. Although it's hard to say a guy his size squirts through.
Right.
He forces his
powers
way
through.
Yeah,
it.
powers through
it.
Gains 10. So it's going to be 3rd and 6.
So he gained back the yardage that they lost on the hold.
So we're going to see this. He just fakes the quick
throw. They must
throw.
have saw something on films here, Brent, because that's the third time they've run that play where he just fakes the quick out pass and runs the ball right up the middle on a draw. So, I mean, they've seen something in films or something because they're running that a lot.
So we're seeing there Eric Cifuentes, number 55, with a nice block there for Lakota West. You see 77. That's Tegra Shabola. That's going to be a timeout taken here with 1:34 to go in the second quarter. Big play, though, right? I mean, from the perspective of if you can get the first down here, then it's Lakota West to figure out what they want to try to score here before the half. If they don't, Lakota East is going to get a last shot here to try to do something.
Yeah,
so pretty big play.
The one thing we haven't seen here from West is I have not seen Jair Brown, who's their leading receiver, and the Ohio State player, Division I Ohio State player. They haven't gone to him yet, so I'm waiting for that to kind of happen.
They really haven't thrown downfield yet.
No, they haven't. And, I mean, that's the guy you're going to go to. And, again, what we heard was Lakota East struggled this year in the defensive backfield. Now might be that time to maybe try and find Brown on a one-on-one situation. If they can get him in a one-on-one situation, I think they'll try and go that way to him because of his athleticism and speed would be very difficult to defend.
So I see number 13, Minnick, on the field. I see number 5 as a receiver, John Edwards, out there. We see number 10, Dwayne Richardson, on the field. So we've got quite a few players, all of them to the right side, and then you've got Jair Brown down here on the bottom of the screen, one-on-one, no safety over the top. So you got one.
This could be your time.
This could be the time, and any kind of slant or here we go. They're going to
pure option.
Yeah. So Bolden ran option. Looked like Lloyd as the option back might have had a little bit of space.
That was just pure speed option, and it was kept by Bolden. I'm surprised he didn't pitch it here. It looked like they had some outside. They had Kendrick out there. The pitch back looked open to me.
Yeah, that was interesting. Kendrick is going to get most of that tackle, along with 33 for that. That's Harrison.
Very surprised Bolden did not pitch that.
So it's going to be 4th and 5 from their own 21-yard line, 119. That was Lakota East taking their last time out. So it was kind of interesting there, right? The pitchman was open. They didn't get it to him. I don't know if Bolden wasn't confident, and I say Mitch Bolden wasn't confident, so he just thought, let's be safe. Let's get here.
That was speed option. There was no dive back on that. They just went pure option in that with the pitch and the running back, and he didn't pitch it. It looked like he was open because Kendrick had kind of turned it in and held his position, so the pitch was open. As long as they would have got a block on that corner, looks like they might have had some yardage out there, but he didn't pitch it.
So here's Minnick with a little more room to work with. As you mentioned earlier, he's 13 yards back from the snap as opposed to the 10 that he had to be. The return man for Lakota East, Rabin, is back just inside the just past the 50-yard line, just barely in his own territory. Minnick does a nice job fielding a snap or on one hop. Fair count by Lakota East at the 44-yard line. So nice solid kick from the 20. That's a 36-yard net, no return.
Well, a lot better than the 23-yard line, which was the last punt. So East got a long way to go. And, again, not their forte of trying to go a long distance in a short period of time. I mean, that's not an option-style offense. And you can see they're not having a lot of luck throwing the football.
So with 1:12 to go here in the first half, Lakota East will take over 1st and 10 from their own 45. No timeouts remaining. And for a running team, that's pretty tough.
That's tough.
Clock stops for out of bounds and first downs.
I mean, option's a big play. I mean, you can get a big play like you did. They did have that long run the first half off the pitch. And that's really about all they've got. I mean, is the hope to get a long run off the option.
So their normal formation, 2 receivers wide, and they're going to try. They got man coverage here on Fusel, who just played it perfectly. Josh Fusel, if you notice that, was playing man coverage out here on the wide side, ran right inside of the receiver. Actually, looked like he could have been the receiver.
Almost had the interception. I mean, Ford did a good job of playing defense on that.
That's Kyle Poppy, number 4, who was down. It was they were looking one spot. Kathman throws it down to him, and like I said, Fusel was in perfect position, just a step up in front and inside of the receiver.
Almost increasing his league-leading interception total. He's got 3 along with Jair Brown to share the lead in the league with 3 interceptions. I was almost number 4.
So 2nd and 10.
So if you're Haynes, do you go with another pass here?
Well, I certainly think you try something here, and sure enough, Kathman back to pass. They're going to try to throw it. It's intercepted. Intercepted. That as obviously you were implying there, Dan. We're going to see where he's still on his feet. Still going. That's Jair Brown inside the 10-yard line. First and goal for Lakota West.
50 seconds left.
So
that's
what you were implying, right? That's why you asked about, do they try to throw again?
And the answer should have been no.
Obviously, it should have been no. As
Jair Brown, who's now leading the GMC with 4 interceptions, almost got it with Fusel on the other side, but Brown comes back with. And again, why would you want to tempt the Ohio State signee, the best corner probably in the league?
Well, what they were obviously what was going on there, if you noticed, Dan, was that was the back coming out of the backfield, so they thought they were going to run him off. Lakota West was in zone.
Yeah, he read it.
So the safety went with the deep guy, and they had Brown was just sitting right there waiting for the back out of the backfield, had the short zone. So here we go.
Almost like it was thrown to him, like the play was called to Brown because he was in perfect position and returned it almost for the touchdown.
First and goal from the 8-yard line. They're going to try to run good straight up the middle, inside the 5, inside the 3, inside the 1.
Not quite in.
So still plenty of time. 2 timeouts for Lakota West. Clock running with 40 seconds to go. It's going to be second down and basically a yard.
Well, as we said, Brent, turnovers are going to be big here, and obviously this was huge with 1:30 left in the half. Oops.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, and he lost it again. We'll see what happens here. So
that's big. West retains it, but, man, what loss.
So with 21 seconds to go, it'll be third down for Lakota West out by the 16 or 17-yard line. We'll see where they spot this. Obviously confusion.
Just hit him in the hands. Hit him in a bad place, right in the hands.
Got it high.
He took his eyes off the ball is what happened.
And right at the time that he tried to pick it up, number 7, Justin Green, hit him. There you can see number 2, Caleb Van Hooser, popped in and tried to pick it up for Lakota East unsuccessfully. So it's going to be 3rd and 15 from the.
Coach Bolden a little dejected there for going from first and goal on the inside the 10 to now he's got third and goal
from the 15.
From the 15. So he's got to throw the football here. Or do you just try and pick up some room here and get to the middle of the field and kick it?
I would assume they're going to try to throw it into the end zone. You're going to see it. zipped it right in there. What a nice throw.
Try. What a beautiful throw.
And that's Trent Lloyd.
Lloyd, the second leading receiver for the Firebirds there. That's his 3rd touchdown catch of the year. What a big play. Just ran a little skinny post right down the middle. And we're
going to see that again.
Well, they're in zone. He found a little soft spot in the zone. And there he is. He's wide open. And great recognition by Bolden and just put the ball right on his hands. Well done all the way around.
So we're going to see what the flag was for.
I mean, that was just like
defensive holding, so it's going to be a touchdown Lakota West.
Yeah. And wow, boom. I mean, that was big.
That was just a really nice, Trent Lloyd did a nice job of getting release. I mean, there was a lot of contact
Great concentration.
And pressure.
2 people hit him, and he held on to the ball, touchdown. And that's huge for Lakota West. I mean, momentum squarely on their side. You have a 10-point lead, and there's Hannah Duncan coming in to kick.
And there goes the West student section, Red Sea, running their flags down the sideline. There's this kick up from Hannah Duncan, and it's through. So, wow, with 15 seconds to go here in the first half.
What an exciting end to the half. I mean, you have it. And, what I was saying, Brent, you aptly got it, was you just about threw an interception. It's not your strong point at all. And you go right back to it, and you're going into their strength, which is their defensive back. Their entire defensive backfield is going to go to Division I college and play football, so they're very good. And your weakness is your passing game. You don't have much of a passing game. And you throw it, and it turns the game around. I mean, that right there, I mean, you can go in 3-0. You just stopped them. You've played a pretty good half of football. And, now you're going in, you're down 10-0. You gave up that interception almost, you gave up the touchdown right before half. And that's a game changer right there.
I think what happens, though, it's you just feel like it's really important. You'd stop them. You got them to punt. You say, oh, wow, instead of them having a chance to score, we're going to get a chance to score. Maybe you missed the fact that it was a pretty good punt. Right. You started at your own 45. It wasn't like you were starting at their 23 again. Right. You're like, oh, we're going to throw the ball. We're going to make something happen, at least try to get the field goal or something. First play, you don't.
You almost give up the interception
on the first one, and I think you're thinking, okay, well, we're going to run this other play. We're going to fool them. And
it's
hard to fool. It's hard to fool. Jair Brown.
The naysayers, if you don't go for it, they're going to go, oh, that's. You're playing for the tie, or you're not. You're going to get all those people. You're not going for the win. You're not playing aggressive. There's no trust. But you just can't go there. I mean, there's smart football, and that was not smart. At that point. I don't know how the game's going to end up, but that's going to be a big part of it, I think.
So Tyler Bond with the kick after the holding penalty on the touchdown was applied to the kickoff. Bond then was able to kick the ball from the 40-yard line and kicked it through the end of the end zone.
He kicked it to the concession stand, I'm sure.
So maybe the official's going to get a hot dog here right before halftime and get back out here. But with
or at least the guy going to get the ball will.
So 15 seconds ago in the first half, now you're Lakota East. Boy, I mean,
now
you just kneel down and move on.
Yes.
You have no timeouts. You're right.
Unless you just run your option here, run your pitch, maybe
but do you
break
do you
one.
want to get the ball loose? I mean, do you want to get it out there?
Well, but that's part of the option. I mean, there's a lot of that with just running an option. You got to run your game, and options what they do. So pitch it. I mean, you've had
or,
some.
Or do you just
Brown.
run Davis up the middle? Nope,
Well,
they're kneeling.
Kneel. Kenner just takes the kneel, going to run the clock out, and that's it. I mean, that's going to be the half, a good half or a good end of the half of Lakota West. I mean, Lakota West defense showed well, East defense showed well. So we'll be back after half.
Welcome back to Firebird Stadium here on the campus of Lakota West High School, where the Firebirds lead the Lakota East Thunderhawks 10-0. Dan, what have we seen so far?
Well, we haven't seen much offense, as we were talking about. There's 113 yards for Lakota West total and 67 for Lakota East. So there's not much on that. It's all been defense, and the defense making a big play for West, as we talked about turnovers, Brent, before the game, and the one big turnover with 1:32 to go in the half. West picked, Jair Brown picks off the ball, brings it inside the 10-yard line. West ends up scoring, and East defense has acquitted itself pretty well tonight. It looked like they were even going to stop them there after the fumble, and Bolden comes back with a really nice touchdown pass to Lloyd. But the bottom line, it's been defense all night.
So what do you expect to see here in the second half difference? We're going to see Lakota West kick off for the second. So Lakota East is going to start off on offense, but, between the two teams, they've attempted 10 passes.
Mm-hmm.
They have combined 6 to the right team,
right?
3 to the other team, and only one ball's hit the turf.
Yeah, so you might want to throw a little bit more, and if you might want to emphasize the run, I guess, if you're East at this point, because they are struggling on the passing game. They just don't look good, as we said before. They look uncomfortable throwing the football. It's obviously not something that they're comfortable doing. I don't think you can try and throw more. And again, you're throwing into the strength of the Lakota West defense is that defensive backfield. So I don't think you're going to want to do that as you get a weird little nub kick and East just falls on it. So they're going to start out with good field position.
So starting at their own 40-yard line, it looks like, or 35-yard line.
35.
So obviously Lakota West is a little nervous of the return game of Lakota East. We've had 3 kickoffs. 2 of them have been squib on the ground.
Right.
The third one, they had the benefit of a 10-yard penalty, and he kicked it through the end zone.
Right.
But where they weren't comfortable they're going to get a touchback, they've done that. And so, as you said, Lakota East is going to start out 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
And all East has the pitch. That's really the only, good yardage of the 67 yards. I think 45 of that has come from just straight pitching it to Brown. He's got a couple good pitches, 26.
Benny
there
Powell.
They go to Davis.
So in the first half, and that was a gain of Davis up the middle for about 5. In the first half, they didn't focus on Davis up the middle, which they've run. He's been their leading rusher.
Right.
So I don't know if
they got 5 yards right there.
So and Henderson was able to hold on there, and Aiden Miller 23 for Lakota West. But here's the thing. I almost feel like they tried to change their tendency to get Lakota West off balance, and they did, but they didn't get any points out of it.
No.
So they went against what their strength is to fool Lakota West, and it didn't work. Kathman is going to keep it. We didn't see much of Kathman keeping the ball either.
Well, the 11 has been on him the entire time. Every time he runs a football, 11 for West is tackling him, at least whenever they try and run option. I think East is going to go back to their
bread and butter, right?
They're just straight dive. And they've got, they're on schedule. It's 3rd and 1, just where they want to be. And I think you'll see more of that. So if you're West defensively, you're going to have to tighten up in the middle and keep Davis from hurting you up the middle. And I'm sure they're going to go here.
So we see Rabin and Benny Powell on the wings. We've got Davis right up the middle there. He's going to keep the ball, and I think he's got enough for the first down.
I think he's got the first down, but just barely. West was ready for that, but they did get a first. So
I do see number 90, Elijah Davis, number 3, Tyler Sparnell, involved in that, but a lot of Lakota West Firebirds there is right up the middle. You see 11, Jason Hasbeck, who's made a lot of plays off the end. You're going to right there. You can see Brian Henderson, number 99, keeps it from moving forward. There comes Afari, who was the leading tackler for Lakota West in the first half.
I got to tell you, Brent, there's no reason to panic. You're only down 10. As bad as that half ended, you're still only down 10. So if you're able to drive down here and score and make it a 3-point game, you're still in this thing.
So 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. They're going to fake the ball up the middle, and the quarterback Kathman's going to keep it. So that's 2 carries for him already in this half, and we didn't see a lot out of him in the first half running the ball. I don't know if it's coming off the injury last week, or that not playing last week, the injury from the past, or whatever. But he wasn't I think they had him marked for maybe 2 carries. 2 carries in the first half, and he's already had 2 in the first series.
Yeah, I think. Like I said, East is going to go back to their roots here and just going to go straight option and get away from anything. And I think as you see them pound up the middle, then you'll see a pitch. You'll get the ball outside. And there they try a little counter, and that's going to be stopped.
Wow. Yeah, wow. That flying right up the middle is number 9, Malik Hartford.
Yeah,
that was
Hartford did
that was a big
job.
play. And Malik's got a number of offers.
And he hooked him right there. Boom, grabbed him by the arm and just held on to him.
So great play there. Rabin thrown for a loss. They're back to 3rd and 10. Back at the 45, 46-yard line of Lakota East. A big play, again, as you just said, off schedule.
Right.
3rd and 10 is not exactly what you want to do if you're Lakota East. You talked about that. We've seen Kathman this half. We've seen Davis up the middle. But who we don't see Kendrick on the offense
all.
this. Yeah, so
And he's the passer. He is their only passing threat.
So we know he got hurt last game. He's been in and out. Boy, just no time there. Ball's dropped on the ground. What a great pressure by Elijah Davis, number 90.
Every time they go to pass, it just looks bad, Brent. They try to get him outside the pocket and roll. Great job.
Yeah.
Great job keeping contained out there by the defense, by the outside linebacker.
And really, look, there's only 3 guys. Well, and maybe you'd say 5 guys putting pressure on.
Right.
Rushing.
Yeah,
so
they're not
they dropped
blitzing.
6.
They're not blitzing, and there's nowhere to throw the ball. I mean, that's what's it's coverage sack right there.
So loss of 4 on the play. It's going to be back to their own 42-yard line. 4th down and 15 yards to go. And Lakota East is going to be punting to Lakota West.
Bad snap.
A kick is blocked off the end. Picked up by Alex Afari. Is going to take it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow. Another big, defensive special team play. Is Afari, a Division I Kentucky signee, makes a big play, starting it out.
So was that number 8 or 9 with the block? We'll see that hopefully again here. I couldn't tell if that was Isaiah Jones,
maybe?
8, or Malik Hartford, number 9. Let's check that out.
Bad snap.
You're going to see.
That's Hartford, isn't it? Or
well, I think it is. Absolutely, it's Hartford, number 9.
Hartford, number 9.
So coming off from the corner, that's Malik Hartford. That shows you why he's got Division I offers.
Yes.
Although he's only a junior.
And one I think is UC offering him, isn't it, or talking to him?
I think
number 2 Bearcats.
I believe they have offered him. There's Tyler Bond up to kick. The kick's good. So with 8:15 to go here in the still in the third quarter, Lakota West 17 and Lakota East 10.
And
0.
that could be the knife in the heart of Lakota East defense. Offensively, they don't look like you're going to score 18 points, the way it's going around. It'd be 3 touchdowns or whatever. Can East get there at this point? And I don't know the answer to that. It doesn't look like it.
We certainly haven't seen much indication that that's going to happen.
No.
And obviously Lakota West hasn't shown us a whole lot of offense so far, but it sure is nice when you start a possession. The last 2 possessions they've started at the Lakota East 8-yard line.
Right.
And they didn't even have to come on the field. They started this one in the end zone.
Well, turnovers and in special teams. I mean, the turnover was the big one for West. I mean, they produced 3 points from their offense. Their defense got really – I'm going to give the defense a touchdown because they intercepted, bringing it inside the 10-yard line for the score. And then you got a block.
That actually is a touchdown.
It is a touchdown off special teams. So special teams, in defense for Lakota West has scored 14 of their 17 points. So they don't need much offense.
And that's the key, obviously, from a Coach Bolden team. You're going to make plays on all 3 areas, right? Offense, defense, and special teams. You don't have to rely on one area. If one area is just holding its own.
That's a difference in a good coach team. I mean, everything is good. All aspects of the game, special teams, defense, offense, they're all right on point. And that's why West is a good football team. That's why they're 2 in the city. They are good. They're very solid on all sides of the ball. Their defense is extremely strong. Their offense is very capable.
Lining up in an onside formation, he's going to do that same little pop-up kick. Lakota East is going to try to advance it, but well covered by Lakota West. Benny Powell, who's had a couple nice runs for Lakota East, and actually the interception, caught that, didn't fair catch, looked like he might have a chance to make a play, and got nowhere. So angle kick from one hash mark to
that looked like your wedge shot there.
Outside the other. No, that looked like it went pretty close to where he wanted. But Ben Minnick, number 13, was right on it. Yeah, not my wedge shot. So Ben Minnick, a couple great fills on the defensive side of the ball. Where it looked like maybe there was something on the pitch, and he stepped up. Kendrick on that one catch, he came up to a 2-yard gain. So Ben Minnick has been very impactful on the defensive side tonight. And there he is on special teams. So run right up the middle with Davis. Nice run, gains almost 8 yards.
You can see why he runs hard. The thing is, West is not giving him much of a chance to get started. He looks like if you give him a chance to get going, he could be a lot to handle or break one even for that matter. He's a very solid running back with a lot of speed, but West has been able to keep him from going. They're hitting him right at the point of attack and not letting him build up a head of steam.
So it'll be 2nd and 3 from the just inside about the 39-yard line. On that tackle, we saw number 90, Elijah Davis, and number 23, Aiden Miller for the Firebirds. Here we go again. Kathman under center. He's going to hand the ball to the right side to Davis, and there again, this is how they like to do it.
This is their football.
He's going to gain about 3 yards, but it was on 2nd and 3, so that's a first down.
Yeah, if you like watching an exciting offense, you don't want to go much to a Lakota East game. They're not much. They run pure triple option, which is exciting in its own. There's 3 things you can come off of it. Very difficult to stop triple option, but they don't throw the ball very much, and they're running the option. They like to gain 3 yards, 3-4 yards of carry, and just keep moving the sticks, control the ball, and it's how they win football games. And they've won a lot of football games this year.
Jacob Asbeck there with a nice play. He had the quarterback, and Kathman kept it, and he kept him for about a yard and a half gain. So nice play by number 11. Nice, good assignment.
And he's been doing that he's been doing that all night. Every time Kathman comes out, 11's there, right there. You see, that's his responsibility, and he's doing a good job. He executed it right there.
And there was 13 Minnick sitting there with number 8 Rabin, the pitch man. So had they pitched it, it would have been a loss.
It would have been a loss.
The one time they got the nice gain from the pitch, Malik Hartford, who's made a couple great plays, missed a tackle.
He missed a tackle.
And obviously he's more than made up for that with the blocked kick for the touchdown.
Yes.
There you go, Davis straight up the middle. He's going to gain maybe another 3 or 4 yard line.
There's a big hit there coming up from number 11, coming up making a big hit on that.
That's
cleaning it up.
Jacob Asbeck again. He's making a lot of plays right here.
Yeah,
you can see Owen Kaufman, the nose guard, has him by the ankles.
Yep.
So here we go with 6:02 to go in the third quarter. Lakota West up 17 points. 3rd and 4 for Lakota East. Again, as you've said, and we've talked about quite a bit, with this offense, this is okay. They've got options, and probably at this point in the game, near midfield,
the whole playbook's open at this point.
It might be 4-down territory for them.
Yeah, they really. They're down 17. They got to get going.
Davis is up the middle. He's going to be short of the first down, barely.
But like you said, do you go? Your defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Again, their defense has not really given up the points. They've only given up 3 points.
But if you're running the triple option, you're 4th and 1 in the opponent's territory.
You got to go.
You go for it.
Yes.
That's just how this works.
In the East-West game, being down 17, you got to go here.
So
punting's not an option, I don't believe.
So Davis and Miller again on the tackle, but Davis, the runner, not Davis, the tackler, did a nice job of keeping his feet moving and getting forward 3 yards there to get it to a 4th and very, very makeable here. So huge play.
It's going to be smashing out of football here. This is just your offensive line against your defensive line.
And there he's
Can we get 2-3 yards?
And he runs it straight up the middle for the first down.
Yes.
And when I say huge play, obviously if he gets the first down, it's not a big deal to Lakota West.
No.
If he didn't get it, it's a huge play. That's probably
And West right now is doing what they want to do. They're just chewing up clock. The clock is really kind of the enemy of East right now, being down 17 with not a high-powered offense. And, if West can make them go down and score but take up the entire third quarter doing it, that's problematic to Lakota East, and they're just going to run out of time.
And the biggest thing there is, it's not that it's 3 scores. So that means they need 3 possessions where they score on it, where Lakota West doesn't score at any point. Powell puts it on the ground, recovered by Lakota West.
Wow.
Now we do have a flag where it's marked near the line of scrimmage. Possible we could be looking at an offsides or anything here. I didn't see what triggered the call. We're going to find out pretty quick. Looks like so Coach Bolden is obviously signaling it was illegal motion, but declined.
Well,
first
I
down,
think what it was
West.
is I don't think the tight end was set.
So an improper shift.
Yeah, I don't think the tight end was set before they snapped it. You'll see at number 87, the tight end just didn't get set. You didn't see the replay come back to where the snap of the ball, but 87, the tight end was not set for a full second before they snapped the ball. I think that's what they called.
So there was Kathman rolling left. Good pressure. They took out. Somebody was taking out the quarterback, pitched it to the running back Benny Powell, who had some success in the first half. He bobbled the ball, it dropped on the ground, and Elijah Davis was able to fall on it for Lakota West. Now we're going to try to see if Lakota West can ground something out on the offense. Of course, again, they're starting at the Lakota East 49-yard line.
I can't imagine the ball going in the air here. Too bad. As Woody Hayes says, only 2 bad things. When you throw, only 2 of them are bad. Well, here's 3 because it stops the clock.
So they're going to mark that a gain of 3 up the middle for good.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a healthy dose of that in the remaining 4 minutes of this quarter and the 12 minutes of next quarter.
You're going to see a lot of run the football good right now on Lakota West side.
So there we go.
Or you're seeing right
That's
there
Bolden.
Yeah.
Bolden, and he's going to take it right up the middle for a nice gain inside the 20-yard line. So if you'll see that again, Bolden's going to fake the handoff. He's going to kind of juke back a little bit and then
follow the blocking.
Follow the flow. They're going to get right back to the line of scrimmage. So try to catch Lakota East a little bit off balance here. Bolden back in the shotgun. He's going to take it. He's going to hand the ball to Good. Good's going to break it off to the right side. He's going to gain almost 4 yards there. Mm-hmm. So Lakota West definitely has Lakota East off balance at this point. And, Lakota East, right? I mean, you get that first down on, that fourth down conversion. You're excited.
Yep.
And then the next.
Starting to move the football.
You turn the ball over on the pitch.
Ball, yeah. I mean, it's what we said. Turnovers are going to play a big point, and right now they are. I mean, it's killing East.
Here's that 2 plays ago where you see Bolden with the fake, and then he just breaks it right up the middle, and good effort from Lakota East. I mean, they're not giving up, right? I mean, they're tackling him there. They're only down 17 points, still third quarter.
Well, they're a well-coached team. They're not going to give up. A bunch of good kids, good athletes, and they've won a bunch.
So there we go. It's a handoff again to Good. It was third. At that point, it was a 2nd and 7. Looks like he's going to get about 4. We're going to be 3rd and 3. So, again, what Lakota West is very happy with as the clock continues to run under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Good runs through a nice tackle there. I mean, that was a good effort from Good. 33 had an opportunity. Harrison Buchheit had an opportunity to take him for maybe only a yard gain. Ran through it.
So, Lakota East is a good football team. I mean, they're going to have some bragging rights this year, Brent, that they've done what very few teams have done the GMC over the last 15 years, and that's beat Colerain. With a 7-6 victory over Colerain, it's a good year for Lakota East. They're going to make the playoffs no matter what happens here.
And there's a nice touchdown pass from Bolden to Trent Lloyd. Trent Lloyd did a nice job there again.
Picking up his 4th on the year, 2nd today.
Looks like we may have a flag on the play. Yes, we do. See what the call is here. But, yeah, that was nice. Bolden stepped back.
Went nice play action. Yeah. Sucked into the linebackers and then threw right down the middle again. Yep. Basically the same play I think he scored last time.
And Lloyd, again, was able to get a release on the inside. So it looks like it's a touchdown signaled from Jair Brown. So we'll see what they're calling again. A dead ball foul, personal foul against Lakota West. So
it was after the play.
So touchdown.
So it'll be a long field. It'll be either a long extra point attempt or a long kickoff.
You'd assume they'll probably take it on the kickoff, so they have a chance there. They'll have to be kicking from their 25. But here we go again. You're going to see Bolden steps back, drives the ball in at him, keeps that nose of the football low.
Exact same play, just different side. He was lined up in the slot on the left side, and on the first touchdown, he was on the right side. So exact same play, just skinny post right down the middle of the zone. Wide open, Bolden finds him for a second touchdown pass of the game and his second touchdown.
And Trent Lloyd is a powerful young man. He's actually, the one game they lost, he got injured extremely early in the game against St. X. And, obviously could have been impactful there. The extra point is up and good from Hannah Duncan. So that makes it with 2:08 to go here in the third quarter. Lakota West 24 and Lakota East 0. Dan, what do? Wow, you convert the fourth down, you're into West territory. Next play, you fumble it, and 3 or 4 plays later, Lakota West has put another touchdown on the board. You're less than 10 minutes into this half. They've already got 2 touchdowns where it took them, the entire first half to get 10 points on you.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're East, the only thing you can do here is just continue to run option. I mean, that's all you can do is run your offense. They're not the style of offense that's going to make up 24 points in a quarter. They just can't do it. It's not within it's not within the playbook of what they do. I mean, that's not how they do. East plays ball control, option offense, and they play good defense. And they've actually played good defense. They just have turned the ball over, and on offense they've turned the ball over and given Lakota West some good field position, some scoring opportunities, and then the special teams play, the block punt. So I mean, the defense has played well, and the offense, aside from the turnovers, really hasn't done too bad.
Well, as you mentioned from the Lakota East perspective, their passing game is
non-existent.
I mean, it's very juvenile.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right. The scheme of the plays.
We talked about this last time. I've seen Tomahawks have.
Yeah.
The Tomahawk teams have more sophisticated passing attacks than East does.
The plays can be effective if a team's on their heels because you're running, and then you pop. They talk about pop
but
the pass.
That's the idea, is to get 8 or 9 guys inside, up to stop the run, and you throw past them with play action. It's very effective, but West, they have not really ran the ball well enough to get West into that situation.
So Lakota West kicking from their own 25 after the penalty. Lakota East is going to get good field position again. They're going to get it around their own 39-yard line. We talked a little bit about the field position Lakota West has had. So in the first half, they first started on their own 46, midfield, in the end zone with a blocked punt, if you want to say it that way. But you can see here again, just trying to squib it. It looked like he might have some effect because it took a while for Lakota East to pick it up. Eventually, they did pick it up, and Caleb Van Hooser.
He's doing a good job just getting off the field, getting as much yards as he can.
So that was pretty effective for them. They're going to start on their 40-yard line, but now they're down 24 points. So that's obviously a little bit more of a challenge from their perspective. They're still within 3 scores. Right?
The one thing I don't see East do much of is the tight end is kind of the forgotten guy in that offense. Is why have they not looked at the tight end? I'm sure West doesn't even cover the guy.
So there's a pop pass to Benny Powell.
Oh, there you go.
He's still on his feet. Takes the ball inside the 20, 15. Looks like he's out of bounds around the 11-yard line. So that's more of the tight. And there's going to be a couple flags there. I think they hit him after he's out of bounds. So they're probably going to be inside the 5 or maybe the
distance,
6 or 7-yard line. That's the kind of things you more expect from them, right? That was a fake run. The quarterback, it's almost, if you remember a little Tim Tebow, kind of the jump pass.
Yeah, a little jump pass.
Pop pass, end inside. There's a lot of terms
Which is
for that.
kind of the tight end because they've got him playing on kind of that wing back as the pitch back, but he just went out like a tight end right down the middle. So it didn't go to 87, but it was more of a tight end type of pass, and it was very effective, obviously.
But those are the types of pass play design that you normally see effective from a triple option team. What we've seen so far haven't been. So there you go, and boy, I mean,
wow, it just popped off.
It ran right into Hartford, and both of them kept their feet, but Benny Powell, I guess, caught his composure a little bit more quickly, and he's run the ball. I mean, done a nice job moving the ball. Looked like he went out of bounds around the 12. You'll see the late hit there, moves the ball to the 6-yard line. So it's 1st and goal for Lakota East from the 6 like that. And that's not something you normally see from a triple option, right?
Quick.
To move that quick, they're going to see, and
Kaufman's going to go in.
Yeah, TJ Kaufman is going to get the touchdown there. They faked it up the middle. He kept the ball. It ran through an arm tackle and into the end zone.
There you go. As we talk about how hard they're having scoring the ball, they just score on 2 plays.
Now, this is a little surprising to me. I mean, maybe you don't want to chase points this early. I'm a little surprised they're kicking the extra point. Thought perhaps they would try to get the 8 points. But, you chase points, 14 minutes left in the game. So here they go, lining up to kick the extra point.
Yeah, you just wonder if they should have kicked that field goal on a 4th and 1. It would have been a better situation for them.
So the kick is up and good.
They'd only be down 2 touchdowns at this point.
So with 1:44 to go here in the third quarter, Lakota West 24, Lakota East 7. Do we have a game again?
We might. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's the 8 points basically West gives up a game. They just got it. So, I don't know if they can score more or not. That was a pass play that you don't see much. And Bolden giving Horton a little bit of a Hartford giving him a little bit of an earful there. You got to make that tackle. I mean, if nothing else, okay, you gave that up, the pop pass, but you got to make tackle. You can't hit that kid up around the shoulder pads. You got to hit him and bring him down.
Well, we both know really what he was telling him. You don't have to make the ESPN highlight film hit wrap. If you get your arms around him, even if you don't take him down, 3 other guys are going to bring him to the ground.
Yeah, the only way they can get back in the game is big plays, and they just gave up a big play.
And because Hartford hit him without wrapping.
Right.
That's the coaching piece of it. I mean, you just tackle him, but if he wraps up, even if he doesn't bring him down, you hold on to that leg, the guy's not going another 40 yards.
But that's what I like about Tom Bolden as a coach is when you make a mistake, he's the first guy you see. I mean, Tom's the offensive coach, but he's going to talk to his guys on defense and tell him, hey, this is what you got to do. And if you do something well, guess who the first guy you see is when you come off the field? It's Coach Bolden. So
here we go. Lakota East lining up to kick off, and it's a little bit of what they used to call kind of a rumble or a bumble type huddle. They're all right there. They could onside kick,
or they could break out and kick it right there down the middle with everybody there,
or break out and be in the normal formation, which is what we would expect with 1:44 to go in the third quarter.
Right.
We'll see what they want to do. Do they want to kick the ball deep? You can see Lakota West has Brown and Afari, who have both showed us today they're not necessarily people you want carrying the ball into open field. They're going to kick the ball short, picked up very clean by Lakota West. Wow, that was
wow, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Talk about good field position.
Well, and here's the thing we're seeing, these athletes on the field for Lakota. That's Ben Minnick, right? We've already talked about Ben Minnick on defense, a couple of really nice plays. We've talked about him on offense. Here he is. He didn't just fall on the ball.
No.
He sees the ball coming to him. He moves over to make the play, grabs it around the 30-yard line, cuts it
Goes
straight up the middle.
field.
You see Hartford there with a nice block.
Everybody's blocking. Good job.
Allows him to advance it past the 45-yard line. So Hartford right there. And you know what? I'm guessing Coach Bolden will have noticed that.
Yes.
You missed a play. Boy, the next play on special teams, you gain. Now we get to start the ball back at the 46-yard line
Make a good
again.
play out of it.
So here we go. Mitch Bolden, number 7 back. He's going to – it looks – wow.
Dropped it.
Boy, very fortuitous there
Bounce.
for Lakota West.
Yes.
He faked the ball to Good, running it up the middle. Ball hit the ground and
Good
bounced.
wanted it, and he didn't want to give it up, so it ends up in a drop ball, and he picks it up and gets what he can.
And we're going to see this. Bolden dribbles the ball here. It drops it and bounces right back into his hands, which, on the basketball court is not uncommon. A oblong football doesn't always do that.
Like that, yes.
So very fortunate that we were actually able to take what could have been disaster and moved it into a 1-yard
That
game.
could have made it a game. Turnover there, and East getting the ball and going down and scoring. Now you do have a game, but West going to chew up some more clock.
And I tell you, I don't know what the term, a little bit sloppy. The snap was perhaps a bit high. It slid through his hands a little bit, bounced in the air. He gets it. We'll take a look here.
Good on the helmet, didn't it?
Yeah, so it's a little bit high, a little bit right. He couldn't even have a chance to fake or hand off to Good. But again, the thing Mitch Bolden does, and this is what's nice when you have a 6'2", 200-pound quarterback, he just tucks the ball and runs it straight up the middle, takes what could have again been a negative play, and you're still sitting here at 3rd and 5, which is very makeable right at midfield. So here we go now. This would be big. Bolden gets it. He's going to throw the ball out. Oh, knocked down by Kendrick. Number 5 is back on the field. We've only seen him a few times, but
Playing defense mainly.
Yeah, he's definitely made some plays. That was Lloyd, who we'd seen on that skinny post a couple times. He actually stops on the pattern
He's
here.
coming back, a little hitch play actually. He just kind of went out, came back, trying to pick up 5 yards.
And wide open. I mean, and you understand why.
Heads up play there by Kendrick.
You understand why the defensive back has him 4 yards. He's giving him some cushion because he's cut right in front of him for 2 touchdowns.
Yes.
But big play for Kendrick and for Lakota East, and they're going to force Lakota West to punt. Minnick, who we've just talked about a couple times, who on the kickoff return is back to punt again with the full 13 yards. He's going to move over to the right. He's going to get some time. That was really nice.
It was almost like he was going to take off, it looked like.
Yeah, so it's going to be fair caught down at the 11 or 12-yard line. And, oh, by the way, Lakota East, I think, just got caught for their own personal foul here.
Oh, no.
Looked like one of their players knocked down number 58 for Lakota West after the play was over. Mike Gertz, 58 for Lakota West. I'm imagining we're going to find out that penalty is going to take him back. Yeah,
at the 5-yard line, 5-6-yard line.
So there's the personal foul.
Not where you want to start out in an option offense. Down, as far down as they are, 17 points down, with only a quarter left to go, quarter and 8 seconds left to go. East not looking in the right position to where they want to be.
And after a big stop, right? You knocked down the 3rd down, you stopped them, you got them to punt, and now all of a sudden you've got the ball back.
And that's a selfish play by your defense.
Inside your own fight, because the penalty was 30 yards from where the ball was.
Right.
So it certainly wasn't anything that was going to, it wasn't like you're trying to make a play to.
It's just frustration. Yeah. You're in a big game, a lot of emotions, and you're not playing well.
So here we go, 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line. Lakota East with 8 seconds to go in the quarter. They're going to run the ball straight up the middle with Davis. Looks like he advanced it close to the 10-yard line, going to gain about 4. So at the end of 3 quarters from Lakota West Firebird Stadium, Lakota West 24 and the Lakota East Thunderbirds 7. So here we are back at Firebird Stadium. I apologize. I said the Lakota East Thunderbirds. Of course, it's the Thunderhawks.
Wow.
Well,
going back in history,
but it is right. I went back to 1996 and 7. Right.
Yes.
I guess that would have been the last time they played as Thunderbirds as a combined team. Dan, so now we're 3 quarters in. Lakota West 2 scores, one on the special teams or defensively, if you want to call it on the punt block. Lakota East did get on the board.
Yes.
But after all of that, and Lakota East made some plays there, they're actually down more than they were at halftime.
Yeah, they kind of went to that little pop pass to what I was talking about tight end. It wasn't a tight end, it was Brown, but basically out of the tight end position, he was out of that slot where tight end would be just off the line of scrimmage a little bit, and they hit him over the middle, and he was able to pick up good yardage, and they scored on the next play. So something a little different than what they're used to doing. But, again, you're asking a lot of a Lakota East team that is very used to ball control, option offense, and to try and come back 17 points in 12 minutes is it's a lot to ask.
And what was interesting to me is, from my recollection, that was the first pass pattern that actually is what the type of patterns you see work successfully in this type of offense.
Right.
It was the quarterback. Is he going to throw it? No, he jumps up and throws it to that guy.
And they run. They went against the zone. Lakota West was in a zone, so they just kind of found the middle of the zone, soft spot, put the ball there, and he broke a tackle and ran for a long way. So
second
look for more of that.
So 2nd and 6 from the 10-yard line for Lakota East. Here as we start the fourth quarter. They're going to hand the ball straight up the middle to Davis. He's going to advance it for about 8 yards and a first down. This is what we expected to see. We didn't see it early in the game.
Right.
So, the question remains what you just said. If you run the traditional offense, you just run the ball up the middle, you run the quarterback keep, you do a few pitches, are you really able to get 3 more scores in 12 minutes?
I don't think so. You got to look to Benny Powell here as your offense. I mean, he's been your offense, and he's been your big play offense. So you need to look to get the ball to him. He's been the guy.
And so there's a handoff to Davis again right up the middle. A little bit different formation from that perspective. We're going to see this here. You're going to see just one back with him, not the wing backs that we normally see. He's going to advance it forward for about 1 yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9 for Lakota East. They're right around the 18-yard line.
Kathman getting a little frustration. You saw in the upper part of that he kind of pushed off because they're hitting him every time. Every time, whether he hits it or gives any option look, they're hitting him, and he's getting a little frustrated because he can't run the football, and he is one of their big runners.
So here we go again, and you do wonder a little bit. I mean, we haven't seen Kendrick much on offense, who was out the second half last week. We haven't seen a lot. Oh, there's a fumble on the play. See what they call Lakota West thinks. Lakota West ended up with it. We'll wait to see if the officials Lakota East. Yep, and there we go. Yep. So fake. Davis up the middle. I don't know if between he and Kathman, looks like there might be a little confusion if it was supposed to go to Davis. So we'll see here. Kathman.
Looks like Aiden Miller, 23, came up with it.
Turns the ball right, and actually he handed it off to number 34 Davis, and it was just a good hit from Lakota West. Knocked that ball loose. The red and black jumps right on top of it. We'll see it again from the other angle. You're going to see right there. Just right off the corner.
Hit.
That's Alex Afari again.
Is that Afari?
That is.
Yeah, he hit that. So big plays by Afari.
He's made some big hits,
And there's Aiden Miller, number 23, the leading tackler, comes up with his own fumble recovery, and again sets up the West offense in an awful good position. And that is, in my opinion, the final nail in East Coffin. I mean, you can't do that. To start the fourth quarter.
So first and 10 West from the 21-yard line of East. We're going to see good run the ball to the right. Some nice surge from the offensive line. It's got to be a little demoralizing for the defense. Especially one thing that is a little bit different here than you don't always see. There's been a number of players for both teams play on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
So the negative of that is when you have a little bit disappointment on one side, it sometimes carries over.
You just got to turn around the other way. And it's sad because Lakota East defense has played pretty well tonight. I mean, they have really not given up a ton. I mean, they only gave up 113 yards in the first half. So they really haven't given up a ton of plays and yardage and points. It's just been turnovers on the Lakota East side.
So 2nd and 4 for Lakota West. I do want to point out there we saw number 30 Gonzalez. Ball on the ground again from
Speaking of fumbles.
Wow, just couldn't. I don't know what's exactly going on.
He's taking his eyes off the ball. He's looking to make a read. He's taking his eyes off the ball before he has it.
This is not about the center. The snap is a little bit higher and a little bit right, but certainly catchable.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's not the center's fault.
It's not hitting the 7.
No.
But it's something you need. That's going to make it 3rd.
Bolden's, I think he's just taking his eyes off the ball, looking for the read before he's got the ball, and he's done that twice now.
So it is 3rd and 7 for Lakota West. See what they do here. The ball around the 18-yard line.
Spread formation. Good in the backfield. And they are going to throw it.
He's going to throw it back. Same.
Oh, God.
Through his hands. Wow. Is that Jair Brown, number 1?
That is Jair Brown. That's an unusual drop.
Similar pattern here. Now, so we're going to see that here. You're going to see a post pattern from Brown.
From the outside receiver, one-on-one back there. He's wide open, though, as he runs that post. And Bolden puts it right there. Yeah. Hits him right in the hands. I mean, you will not see Brown drop that much. But that's why he's a defensive back.
So here we go. We're going to see the field goal attempt here for Lakota West. Going to try this one from about, looks like they're going to spot it around the 24-yard line, so we're probably a 34-yard kick. Tyler Bond is back to kick.
Left footer.
Drives the ball through, no problem. Plenty of leg there. So with 9:21 to go, Lakota West takes advantage of that Lakota East fumble and goes up 27-7.
So another point off turnover, another 3 points off a turnover. So it's been all Lakota West defense, creating turnovers and putting the offense in really good position, and they've turned it into points. And, that's the way you win football games. It's 27-7, 20 points. Is this the largest, if you were wondering, the largest margin of victory was the 35-point game back in the mid-2000s. So I don't think we're going to approach that tonight. And, again, Lakota East defense has played pretty well tonight. Actually, East has kind of played their game. Other than you take the turnovers out of this thing and kind of the bad play calling at the end of the half, and that's kind of what hurt them at the end of the half. You wonder if they come out 3-0, and if they come out here and they start, controlling the ball, is it a different game, Brent? I mean, if you're not down 10 points and you're only down, one touchdown to where you can win the football game, that's how they beat Coleraine.
So the advantage there for Lakota East is while they fumbled the ball, they gave up the field goal. There's still only 3 scores. So
Right.
that really didn't change anything. 17 points and 20 points are still 3 scores from that
Yes.
perspective, which is a heck of a lot to ask from a triple option offense with
Especially the way
9:21 to
West
go.
plays defense. I mean, West only gives up 8 points a game. East has already got that 8. And West scores, 30 or 28 points a game, and they're there. So this is kind of played out the way statistics say it plays out.
So there we go. They're going to kick the ball deep. It's going to go over the over Rabin into the end zone for the touchback. So Lakota East is going to start at their own 20-yard line, down 20 points with 9:21 to go here in the fourth quarter in the Battle of Lakota.
Yes. And it hadn't been much of a battle, to be honest with you. I mean, West has kind of controlled the game. Have they ever really been, worried or threatened? Maybe early in that first half when it was 3-0. They were backed up on their own 1-yard line, punting the ball out to the 23 was about as big a threat as Lakota East has posed tonight. Outside of that, it's been just a story of turnovers and Lakota East not being able to throw the football. I mean, it just cannot throw the football in today's game. That's hard. If you're one-dimensional, it makes you easy to defend.
So here we go again. We're going to see Davis straight up the middle, going to gain almost 10 yards. We'll see where they spot it. They will spot it with 10 yards, first down. Lakota East, again, they've gone back to what got them here over the last 9 games. They weren't doing that in the first half. But the problem they've had, even when they've started doing this a little bit of success, they put the ball on the ground.
Brent, I look at this, and Lakota East have some really fine-looking athletes. I mean, Davis is a good athlete. 26 is a really good athlete for them.
Benny Powell,
Benny Powell's a good athlete. Number 1's a good athlete. They've got a good offensive line. You just wonder if they were a little bit more creative on the offensive side. And gave those runners a little bit more of a threat. Can we throw a little bit? How much better a football team would they be? If you could, if you add the added dimension of potential throw, not just hey, run the ball down my throat, and then then we'll put everybody in the box and I'll throw over top of you once a game.
Now here's another pass you see a lot more common out of the triple option, right? They're just sending a wide receiver deep.
Single.
Unfortunately, you're running with Brown, and that's the other difference here we're seeing. If you look at this next lineup, Brown, I mean, they're playing man coverage on the outside.
Sure.
So it's not like the team has to, play somebody over the top or zone or play 2 guys or anything like that. Lakota West is saying that's fine. You guys want to play 10 on 10? We're okay with that.
But that's the benefit of Lakota West having that defensive backfield that they got. They can play man. Anytime they want, they can play man with safety help. Anywhere on the field, if you only throw 2 receivers out there, they can play man and put everybody else in the box and stop the run. That's why it's really difficult if you're Lakota East to do anything.
So it's 3rd and 6 for Lakota East from their own 34-yard line.
There is one.
That was another good effort by Davis. He was able to lunge forward. Elijah Davis for Lakota West had an arm wrapped around him in the backfield. He was able to advance the ball, at least make it into something. Back to pass is T.J. Kathman. Kathman's going to throw the ball. First nice pitch and catch that we've seen in a while. That's Kyle Poppy. Poppy ran downfield and then just turned back, caught it. They needed 6. He gained 7. So you'll see it here. He's on the bottom. Just a good throw and catch.
Boy, I really like that 72, that Austin Silverfeed, or I'm not sure exactly how you say that. It's almost like Zebrink, but he's a big boy and he's blocking well. I mean, he's got 99 pretty much handled. I mean, he's a good looking left tackle for Lakota East.
So we'll see here again, 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line.
And if I'm East, I'm looking for that tight end because no one's even paying attention to him.
There's Davis right up the middle. He's going to gain about 4 yards, though. So as we've said before, that's perfect on schedule. 2nd and 6 from the 45-yard line. We're just going to see it here. Some nice blocks there. They block down. A little surprise there. You see there's 73 and 72. The brothers that you talked about earlier.
Yeah, 73. Right guard is 73, and and left tackle is his brother. And I would hate to have their grocery bill.
A little surprise there. Number 8, Rabin. Had he been able to make a block, might have made that even a bigger play. Going to hand it to Davis straight up the middle again.
Nothing there.
A good effort to make it into a yard and a half gain.
Miller right there on the dive play, just right there. Leading tackler for the Lakota West is Aiden Miller. And he's right there. Just a good linebacker, heads up, well coached, good defense, and there they are. I mean, the dive back's there. Miller comes in, that's his job. Take out that dive back in the A gap, and he does.
There's Miller. You see number 73, Lathan McComas, also came up and helped pull him down. Gain of about 2. Like we said, it's 3rd and a long 4 or maybe 5. Near midfield. Once again, I would suspect with 6:37 to go and the clock running, down 20 points. We're in 4-down territory regardless here for Lakota East. They have 4 receivers out, 1 back in the backfield with the quarterback. He's just going to throw quick outside pass to Benny Powell. Tabron there just, I don't know.
Far garden.
Yeah, I mean, the ball, I don't know. He didn't make a great play on this ball. I don't know if it just got him in a bad spot, just right over his head.
He never got his hands up quick enough, it looks like. But that's who I'd be trying to get the ball to right now if I'm Lakota. And they're going to punt the ball now with, why would you leave East or West on this side? If you don't get it, they're on this side again in great field position and drive,
And when I talked about that, my thought was that if they ran the ball there to get 2 or 3 yards, you would probably go ahead and go for it. So here we go. We're going to have Lakota East back to punt. This time he does get it away. Interesting again. Jair Brown runs the other direction, fools East a little bit. Ball bounces out of bounds or right around the 30-yard line for Lakota West. So with 6:18 to go here from Firebird Stadium, Lakota West is going to have a 1st and 10 here. And
that's actually smart of Brown to run away from it. I mean, you don't want a turnover. The worst thing you have to do is you run up with this wet, cold ball and it slips through your hands and you turn the ball over to East. They can't win if they don't have the football and you're running, clock. So the last thing you want if you're Lakota West is a turnover on special teams. As you see Bolden lead the team out there, and Coach Bolden talking to the official about something he doesn't seem too happy about.
But that's what you see from a coach like Coach Bolden, right? He's always going to be coaching, regardless of the score, regardless of the situation, regardless of the week of the season. He's always going to be trying to get just a little bit more, a little bit improvement for the team. Right there, they ran the ball straight up the middle. It looks like Good's going to get about 2 yards on that, so we're going to see it again here. They, just a straight handoff up the middle from Bolden to Good.
It looks like West is going to get their 8th straight victory after their loss to the opening game to St. X, which is going to play well. They'll be number 2 in the city, get a couple home games in the playoffs, which is big for West to have those.
So here we go, Afari in motion. Oop. Yeah, they're trying to figure out where he's supposed to go. What's kind of funny, now what's really interesting is Lakota East, I think, wanted some kind of penalty. You're welcome to go in motion, stop, go in motion again.
And stop.
As long as you're not going to line of scrimmage. I think they were just a little bit confused there. We're going to see a penalty.
I don't think Tom recognized the play. So he called a timeout to make sure he's got, because again, he doesn't want a turnover here. You're back in your own territory. That's the only thing that can hurt you right now.
So we also have a penalty flag over on the Lakota East sideline during this timeout. I'm guessing it's a sideline. There you go. You see it. It's a sideline warning. Basically, it means that players or coaches are within that. On this field, you'll see on both sides, that red zone is where they're supposed to stay. The players are supposed to stay back.
Well, people always look at it as a ticky-tack call and don't do it, but it's really a safety issue for the officials because they're running down that sideline with the plays and they're looking at the field and they're not looking And if a player just steps up in that zone, he can, could really hurt the guy. So they have to stay in 2 yards behind behind the sideline. They have to be you see that red zone there, they got to be behind that, so the official has an area to run. They have to be within that red zone and behind that line in that green area, and not in the red zone, or it's a penalty.
Now, normally they'll allow the coaches to be in that territory, but boy, players better stay back. And I can tell you as a player, here's Good right up the middle, nice hole. Good busted.
Wow.
He could go. Here he is. It's a foot race from the 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Cameron Good.
No flags. Touchdown Lakota West. Nice run.
Really
boy,
nice
I
run.
want to see that again.
Well blocked.
Yeah, definitely well blocked. I don't know that anybody got a hand on him.
No.
So we're going to see that.
If they did, they didn't get until he was into the secondary.
So here's Good. He's just going to run it.
Nice pull.
Left.
Nice block by 73 pulling.
So 48 got a hand on him, maybe 2 right there. That's it. But I mean, when I say hand, it certainly was nothing much there.
73 for Lakota, or Lakota West pulling there and gets a great block, and I'm trying to find his name.
73 is Lathan McComas.
Lathan McComas did a nice job. He sprung that. He had a great block. As you see Hannah Duncan come in for the extra point.
Try to tack on that 34th point for Lakota West. It is easily good. So with 5:23 to go here in the fourth quarter, Lakota West 34 and Lakota East 7. Wow, for Lakota West, that's the first just normal offensive play
for a touchdown.
That you would for a touchdown.
That's really the first time East defense break. Is breaking against this, but it was bound to happen. They've been on the field a lot. The defense has, and again, I think this is going to look a lot worse than it really was. Again, early in the first half, East looked like they had a shot to go ahead, and they defensively played well. They stopped them for 3 points, and then they changed the field on a punt and forced Lakota West to punt from their own 1 yard line. They got the ball on the 23-yard line. You're thinking, okay, wow, East is on their way here. They got a good shot at doing the right thing here, and West kind of bows her back, keeps them out of the end zone, and forces their own change of field, and gets their own turnover to return it, right before half to get the ball, get in for a touchdown to make it 10-0, which was, I think, the momentum change to turn this game.
Well, what's nice to see there, and I'm glad you pointed out the block, the trap or the pull block from Lakota West. Lakota East hasn't been able to get much penetration. Lakota West has been able to get 3-4 yards on the ground, but that's the first time where really there was a hole.
Right.
For the most part, there's a little bit of a push, and here we go. Number 2, Van Hoosier gets advanced the ball out past the 40-yard line.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to spot it at the 42-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Lakota East. We'll see this again.
A fairly dejected East sideline there for good reason. Although my guess is, we talked before, by the time you watch this replay, you're going to already know that West won this game. So we're probably not talking to a whole lot of East parents. I doubt very seriously they're going to want to watch this thing again.
But it is nice to see, as you mentioned, last year when this game was played, there were only a few hundred people at the game. So it is nice to see a nice turnout from the Lakota East.
Rain.
We can see
look at the crowd. They're going crazy there because they know they got bragging rights. They're going to get to talk. They're going to get to talk to those East counterparts and tell them that we won. We're king for a year.
So here we go again. There's a new quarterback in there for Lakota East. Number 12 has entered the game. That's Aiden Troutman, the backup quarterback. We saw some plays from him. That's one thing we don't know. Kendrick missed the second half last week. Kathman was out the entire game last week.
Right.
We've seen Kathman at quarterback for the whole game, but he hasn't been overly impactful. Maybe you wonder if there isn't something there from an injury perspective.
I think it was just good defense, obviously, because 11 was hitting him every time anything that looked like an option, 11 was taking him out. He got real frustrated and pushed him off late in the game. I think at this point you just, you got a playoff game next week for Lakota East, so why get him hurt?
So here we go again. We're going to see Troutman rolls out to the right. He's going to throw the ball downfield. I think it's incomplete.
That's going to be roughing right there.
So it looks like they're going to get the advantage of that anyway. It was 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
If we've got a penalty on Lakota West.
Yeah, West came up and popped, and you'll see here at the end on this replay, West comes in and pops him after the ball's gone.
So we'll see the spot here. There's the personal foul, and it's roughing the passer on
passer.
Lakota West. So it'll be a first down advance into the Lakota West territory.
Yeah, that was all three bad things. They hit him. They hit him hard. They hit him late, and they hit him high.
So we'll see that. Here we go. It looks like that's
ball's gone,
and I think it's Alex Safari who's made a couple very big plays. Put some big hits on people. That one a little bit late.
That's a good-sized tight end there, number 87 for East, and they don't use him. I mean, that's their tight end right there. He's a big, good-sized guy. I don't know if he can catch. Maybe he's just an extra tackle. Got hands like feet. I don't know. But they don't throw the ball to him, and I think he'd be effective trying to get to him because he's so big.
So with 4:23 to go, we have Lakota East first down and 10 yards to go from the Lakota West 41-yard line. And Dan, I know you talk about, the fact that he, whether or not the people are already going to know what's happened. 500 people are watching this game live right now.
Yes.
So we do have a significant number out there.
Although it's being reduced right now because the rain is coming down. The east side is starting to empty out, kind of sensing the fact they want to get into the dry area because they know their team's probably beat here. The parents are probably still out there watching their kid, but outside of that, grandparents and everybody else have moved to drier quarters. We're nice and dry up here in the press box, so we don't know what it's like down here, but it's been kind of cold, and the rain probably didn't help.
So 2nd and 10 for Lakota East from the 41-yard line. Again, we've got Aiden Troutman at quarterback. Kathman is hopefully rested and trying to get ready for the playoffs. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
So Troutman threw the ball for Kyle Poppy, number 4. It went past him.
Right having a hard time catching it.
Yeah, right to Jair Brown.
Wow.
So, there's a
he
tough
dropped
one.
his second pass of the night. That would have been his 5th interception on the year. Right, 4 kind of misdirected it, so can't really call it.
Yeah, that's pretty tricky. Even if he doesn't, you think he's going to, so it's hard to. You don't expect the ball to come through like that.
Well, he's got the hands up above his waist to catch it, and 4 deflected it down and hits him below the waist. So that's tough to concentrate and catch.
Here we go again, 3rd and 10 for Lakota East. Of course, the rain coming down now doesn't make it as easy to catch the ball either.
So East having to throw the football here because they're down so far. You almost have to throw it.
They're going to run the ball straight up the middle to Davis. Davis is going to get another decent gain, 4 or 5 yards. It's going to put him in, of course, 4th down, and with 3:29 to go, we're obviously going to see him go for it inside the 30 or the 40-yard line of Lakota West. See what they have here.
Yeah, 3:19 left in the game. This is all academic here, Brent. Is they just going to kind of run out the clock and get some of their JV kids, that quarterback a little bit of time here. Although. Yeah, they still got their offensive line.
Yeah, they do. It looks like really the big changes. Of course, Kendrick hasn't played much at all today.
No.
And they've got Kathman, the quarterback, out. But we still see Davis is in there. We still see there's a throw.
Wow.
Boy, and there's one where the quarterback, the young quarterback.
He's in there, though.
Yeah, he was just a little bit confused there. You saw Poppy go one way, Rabin go the other, and he threw it in between the two of them.
Yeah, so but he was under a lot of pressure, and he stood in there. And that's good for a good young quarterback. Staying in there is. He was able to do that. I mean, that he's under a lot of pressure. As you see there.
You see that, and boy, he did get popped right after the play. That'll be so turn it over on downs. 1st and 10 for Lakota West.
He's only a sophomore, so that shows a lot of guts in there, standing in there and taking that. So that's the future of East.
So 2:53 to go. There's the Red Sea again. They're still pretty excited. No, but in fairness, look, I mean, if we can see it, you're not seeing it right there, but the white crowd and
still
white
there?
Because they're in a whiteout with all white shirts for Lakota East. They still got a pretty good representation in their students. There they are.
There you go.
Right, so they have not left here, even though
they're crazy. They're young and stupid. They don't realize what a flu feels like.
Their team's down 27 points with 2:53 to go. We'll see. We obviously got some changes on the offense for Lakota West. See what these youngsters can do. There's a interesting enough. It was a handoff. He was trying to run the ball to the left side of the field.
That's going to be a close line.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a now
horse
they call
collar.
the horse collar tackle. That's
right.
Number 26, Giovante Wilson for Lakota West. Started running the ball to the left, wasn't anything there. Cut back to the right, and thought he had a chance maybe to make a play, but was thrown down around the neck by Lakota East, and that's going to end up being a 15-yard gain for Lakota West.
It's called a face mask. I can't imagine it was a face mask. It looked like he got him around the back of the collar. I didn't see the face mask.
We'll see where the actual hands are.
So that's not the way this play was drawn up, I can assure you.
Yep, there you go. We'll just see what part he actually grabs, and what happened is
No face mask.
Yeah, when the quarterback came under, or the running back came under, the hand actually was under, by his neck.
Right.
Came up and brought him over by his head, which is
dangerous.
It's by
illegal.
the helmet, not the face mask necessarily, but still the same penalty. So 1st and 10 for Lakota West, just past midfield at the 49-yard line. Oh, a little bit of so we can look at that one again. The snap didn't make it to number 15. The quarterback, Nolan Parker for Lakota West. And the ball ended up on the ground. Fortunately, he was able to grab it.
Right.
It's going to be a loss of 2 yards for
he just kind of
the Firebirds.
Snuck up there and sat on it, basically.
So I think what happened is the center snapped it. The center was trying to do a reach block, was going to step to his left. I think the ball actually hit his own behind or leg and went right to the ground. Fortunately, the quarterback was able to.
This is all JV. They've got in a whole new line. It looks like.
Well, you can even see there with Wilson and Nolan Parker. They're pointing out how far back you should be, where you should stand, just to make sure. Good to see them here on a Friday night.
Yeah, because tomorrow it's the East-West JV game, probably around 10 or 11 o'clock at East, I'm guessing.
So, as the clock continues to run now, under 2 minutes to go at 1:47, we're going to see Giovante Wilson again to the left side. He's going to try to outrun everybody, and not successful. Number 10, Devon Medley for Lakota East was able to track him down. You'll see this again. Wilson tries to run to the left, thinking that he might be able to outrun him to the corner. And for the second play in a row, he hasn't been able to do it. Nice job. Number 10 did a great job of keeping the outside open. So he had his outside hand free. Did a nice job keeping it contained. When the back finally tried to go around, there's the Red Sea again, with the lights and waving, some excitement.
As they get another year to brag.
There you go. So we also just want to comment on some there. I see number 70, Max Johnson, is the center for Lakota West right now. Snaps it back. Runs straight up the middle. Isaac Gonzalez, I started to mention earlier, and then something happened. Did see on one of the big plays, Gonzalez had a really nice block. We talked about him a couple weeks ago where he's done an outstanding job leading good this year, as a back. Gained about 10 yards there, which is going to make it 4th and 6 for Lakota West. Clock continues to run, 40 seconds to go. They're definitely going to have to run at least one more play.
They're going to run a play here just because, why even, look at a punt and potentially getting a block? What's the point? Although that really wouldn't matter.
Yeah, so here we go. You can see there's about 15 seconds difference between the play clock and the, and the game clock. Lakota West actually is going to likely have a delay of game here, but I don't think they're going to care. They're saying you have to snap it one more time. They snap it, they run it. Technically, if they tackle him before the clock stops with 5 seconds because it's a change of possession.
Right.
So Lakota East will have one play still to go here. I don't think the players quite realize that the clock does stop because that was 4th down. You see some guys shaking hands, so we'll see what happens here for Lakota East. They will have a 1st and 10 on the turnover on downs. The officials just went ahead and wound the clock. So I guess Lakota East was good with that. Wow. So after a 10-0 first half, and really after a 3-0, 1 minute to go in the first half.
Right.
Pretty much all Lakota West.
All Lakota West the second half and just warmed down. And Lakota West, wins the East-West rivalry game. They continue their kind of dominance with this lately. And they now have, I think, 17 wins to Lakota East 9. So they increase their lead in the series thing. And they go into the playoffs strong with a big win over their rival. And, we'll be back here with some playoff games, I guess, next week, Brent.
Yes, sir. So a final score from Firebird Stadium, Lakota West 34 and Lakota East 7. Good night, everybody.